Network is the official video and audio stream and covers 17 sports in over 170 schools. At HSSN, you'll find the latest in high school sports news, live and archive broadcasts, scores, standings, and much more. Trib Live High School Sports Network, your high school sports leader. All season, every season.
Lancers. Strike three. The Union Scotties, golden once again.
One gold, not enough. How about 2 district gold and 2 state gold for the Lady Lancers?
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
9 seconds. Anderson into the corner, it's Boyd for 3. Shot! Take time!
100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
And a pleasant good evening coming to you live from the Leonard Ettrich Athletic Complex here, Spartan Stadium, for Week 5 Game 6 action on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. The Laurel Spartans hosting the Rochester Rams, a pair of 3-1 teams doing battle for the top spot in the Big 7 Conference. Alongside Lee Moan, I'm James Dotson. Thanks to all of our sponsors. We'll get you that full list in a minute, but Lee first. I'm going to catch my breath for a minute as we get ready for tonight's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched the Lawrence County Band Festival on Wednesday night, I'm giving he looked like Grady Smith of the Wood City Wolverines, the marching, running the 60-yard dash and then running up the ladder in perfect time. And just jumps in right in south. So as Shawsey said, the gold ball comes in. First place in the line, Rochester versus Laurel. Unfortunately, we'll get into some of the unfortunate for Rochester losing their starting year, unfortunately. So they're going to have to go with a brand new quarterback here tonight, a junior. But we'll get into that a little bit as we go.
Today's broadcast on the Lawrence County SportsNet and the Trib Live High School Sports Network is brought to you in part by Maley Chiropractic, by Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George, by The Red Zone, by R. Cunningham Funeral Home, by Medore Bonner Law, by Pontius Insurance, by the Crane Room Grill, by Joseph's Marketplace, by Doran Concrete, by DNR Lawn Care, by Michael Kirkwood Jr. and Castle Realty, by Lawrence County Child and Youth Services, by Hatch Educational Services, by the Tri-County Principals Association, by the Laurel Teachers Association, and by the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. What we're going to do, we're going to step aside for a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and get into our Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George pregame show. Game tonight as well. This is our Lawrence County Game of the Week. Laurel hosting Rochester here at lcsportsnet.com and listening on News Radio 1200 WKST.
Has your child's early education slowed down or even paused due to the pandemic? This is crucial time you can't get back. LCAP can keep your little learner on track for success. We have options for working and non-working parents with in-person childcare and age-appropriate virtual learning to keep them busy and engaged. Parents, don't hit pause on early learning. Lawrence County Community Action Partnership can jumpstart their future. Learn more at lcap.org.
In need of a lawyer? Contact Medore Bonner Law, a boutique firm offering tailored legal services and over 120 years legal experience. County residents with strong family ties to the community, Jason Medore and Michael Bonner, established Medore Bonner Law to provide clients with legal expertise in per Bonner, or visit MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes, but more importantly, helped stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between, let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
And welcome back to Laurel High School. My name's Lee Moan, along with Mr. James Dawson. Going to take care of some technical issues right now. LGKG pregame show. Your insurance company is not always on your side, but the law offices of Luxembourg, Garrett, Kelly, and George are. Visit them online at lgkg.com for a free consultation. Laurel Spartans, Rochester Rams. First place on the line here tonight. Rochester and Laurel, they're both 1-0 as we speak right now. Laurel coming in with a record of 4-1, and Rochester at 3-1 overall rate as we speak right now. The Rochester Rams, as I get my notes here, led by Mr. Gene Matsuk. It's 23rd year overall, 205-64 is his career record. It's the 37th year with the Rochester program. He's won 4 WPIAL titles and 2 PIAA titles. Made it to the WPIAL championship game 9 of his 22 years. He has a 4-5 record in those 22 years, and he's made it to the PIAA championship game 4 of 22 years, and 2-2 overall in the PIAA championship games. Overall, the Rochester Rams have 8 WPIAL titles in their illustrious career. This is the 14th meeting between Rochester and Laurel. Rochester leads the series 11-2. Laurel won in 2013 and 2019. Coincidentally, both scores of 42-0. The first meeting way back in 1982 when I was just graduated high school, a year out of that. Rochester defeated Laurel 23-22. The last Rochester win, 2018, they defeated Laurel 26-14. The last meeting, Laurel defeated the Rochester Rams 42-0. 5 of the 13 games have been shutouts between the Rochester Rams and the Laurel Spartans. You look at this Rochester Ram team. Well, we just found out, unfortunately, before the game that Parker Lyons, their great quarterback and three-sport athlete, got hurt last week. Tore the ACL, and as of right now, he's definitely out for football. Looks more likely he'll be out basketball and baseball. Hopefully he'll be able to come back.
Yeah, Lee, it's unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, he has not caught a break throughout the entirety of his high school career, and you feel for the kid. And it actually happened. We were told by one of the assistant coaches before the game, near the end of the Shenango game last week, where he did everything correctly. He got out of the pocket. He was running around. Went to avoid a hit, took a cut to get outside so he wouldn't have to take a hit, and when he did, the knee just didn't go the right way with him, and unfortunately got a bad diagnosis this week, so he will be out for the rest of the year, and it sounds like, for all 3 sports. So next man up mentality, you're going to see the junior Jaden Norman move from wide receiver to the quarterback spot tonight, and we were watching in warm-ups, Lee. The first few throws a little bit offline, as would be expected for a first-timer, but he certainly picked it up in the last few throws we saw after that. He throws a pretty nice ball. Yeah,
it looks like he has a pretty good arm, too. He listed at 5'10", 155, so not a big guy in there, but you'll be hearing a lot from him. And then the running back, Antonio Laurie, his brother Sal is now playing at Marietta. Antonio with 354 yards on the year so far in the first 4 games, 11 touchdowns for Antonio, and also Jerome Mullins, so you'll be hearing a lot from him tonight too. He's a little bit of everything, does Jerome. He 16 carries for 128 yards also for Jerome, but he's another spark plug of the Rochester Rams.
Yeah, you're right. So for Mullins, Duke Mullins, he likes Jerome and Duke. We'll go by Duke for him tonight, but you'll see where Rochester will go into the 3-man backfield, the T formation in the backfield, very old school look, where he'll be one of those in the backfield, but then they'll spread it out and go 3 wide, shotgun or under center, and he'll be a receiver in those formations. So you have to pay attention to where number 2 is at all times. And while Antonio Laurie, the sophomore, did not get a rushing touchdown last week, Lee, he did, though, however, have a 64-yard punt return for a touchdown in that game. So a big task tonight for Laurel taking on this great Rochester team.
And it's your LGKG pregame show. Let their law firm of AV-rated attorneys and super lawyers guide you through the legal process. Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
Let's step aside for another 1-minute station timeout. We'll be back with starting lineups, the national anthem, and kickoff here from Spartan Stadium. You're watching at lcsportsnet.com, listening on News Radio 1200 WKST.
When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Weiland, Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance and receive the personalized service you deserve.
At our Cunningham Funeral Home and Crematory, we are a proud 6th-generation, family-owned and operated funeral home located centrally in the Newcastle and Neshannock communities. Our large facility and experienced staff allows us to accommodate any family with personalized services. To learn more about our services and pre-planning, visit our website at www.cunninghamfh.com or follow us on Facebook. Allow our family to help your family.
And welcome back to our LGKG pregame show. Lee Moan and James Dotson running a little bit of everything right now as we get ready for tonight's ball game. Again, Laurel coming in with a record of 3-1. They beat New Brighton their first game of the year, 63-7, and then the tough double overtime loss to Neshannock, 41-34 at Neshannock. They defeated Mohawk 49-7, and then a big win last week against the Union Scotties, 28-22 in overtime, and it looks like an exciting game there, led by Chase Tinsman. He's at 26-47 on the year, 407 yards passing, 3 TDs. On the year with only 1 interception. Chase has also run for 131 yards also. But Landon Smith, he was the Newcastle newspaper player of the week, athlete of the week in Newcastle. He's run for about 400 yards this year with 8 TDs on the year. And also you're going to Ben Hennon. He did not play a lot last week, but he's averaging close to 13 yards a carry is Ben Hennon. And also Carter Haney. He's got 10 receptions for 296 yards. So due to math, that's close to 30 yards of reception. He's the big play threat here at Laurel High School is Carter Haney. Yeah, it looks like we're getting ready for our national anthem here from Laurel High School. As this beautiful sunset here tonight.
Yeah, sunset right behind the press box here.
Gotta love it, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful night. Great, cool, crisp evening. It's going to be a fantastic evening with a battle for first place on the line.
And Sunday will be a great day for golf.
It better be.
Yeah, my wife had to get some painting done, and it's not happening right now, so.
Can you believe we're at the midway point of the season already here?
We say that every year, you know that?
We really do. We really do, but it is true.
It just keeps on, it just flies by, and it's been a fun 5 weeks so far, or 6 weeks, however you want to look at it. But I said these two teams doing the battle for first place right now, and now we will pause for tonight's national anthem. So it'll be the Laurel Spartan Band playing our national anthem.
Some crowd mic issues, but we got that. Thank you, Lee Moan. Thank you to the Spartan Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Scott Boyer, Amber Medved, and Riley Miller, the two drum majors for tonight. Lee, this is, again, a beautiful evening. We've reached the midway point. Every game crucial in this Big 7 conference, especially this year. It feels like every week's going to be a battle.
Yeah, between have you got a chance to look at Southside Beaver yet? Were you down there?
No, I have not.
You went to Western Beaver. Okay,
yes.
I knew it was one of the Beavers that you went to, but Southside Beaver, looking, I mean, they're still a perfect 5-0, and they've only got about 26 points in the first 5 games. I have not looked at their schedule completely to see who their opponents were, but still, nonetheless, 26 points in 5 games is pretty impressive. So,
yeah. Well, here is the key with them. They will be 7-0 when they come up here for the Laurel game. They finish with Laurel, Union, and Rochester. So you figure if everything goes by plan, these 2 teams, Union and Southside, should be the 4 that are representing the Big 7. If again everything goes as you
planned,
expect, which means that you have the toughest games of the year still waiting down the stretch coming for that Southside team. But they are ranked for a reason. There's no doubt about it. They are a quality football team here this year, and that's what's going to make it a very interesting. Talk real quick though about Landon Smith here as we wrap up our LGKG pregame show. I mean, he just put the team on his back last week in the second half to bring Laurel back from that double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mentioned before while you were still ringing around, Landon Smith's the Newcastle newspaper athlete of the week in Newcastle. Landon Smith, he's been just basically making people say, Luke who? So Landon he stepped right in, waited his turn, and he's having himself a great senior year so far. But, I mean, once he gets loose, he's gone. I mean, he's shown that breakaway speed, and it's been a fun addition, or fun watching, as Rochester won the toss, and they elected to defer to the second half, so Laurel will get the ball on here tonight.
I was going to say that, too. I mean, both these teams, great offense, but you mentioned 5 shutouts in the 13 times these 2 teams have played. Defense is going to be the big X factor in this game, no doubt about it, in my mind, at least, Lee.
Without a doubt. I mean, the defense usually rolls, and Laurel defense is playing fairly well for the most part. I mean, they got up their share of points, but they do got some good players in that defensive side. Rochester, they're known for defense, for sure.
We thank all of our friends here at Laurel High School, the students running the cameras for us tonight. Great job for them getting us all set up and ready to go here for tonight's contest as we have our officials, and this is all the Lee Moan. You're going to hear a lot of Lee moaning on this one.
The referee is Rick Noka. Our umpire is Mike Bruno. Our linesman is Robert Emmis. Our side judge is Drew Floor. Our back judge, Vaughn Ronald. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have a Henry sighting here in Laurel Spartan country. It's Mr. Henry Frangel. I digress.
You just got the entire press box to crack up. That is beautiful. I mean, that's how I have it written on mine. That's how I have it written on mine.
But anyways.
So as you're listening on News Radio 1200 WKST, going left to right as you listen, will be Rochester. They'll be kicking it away. Deep is Landon Smith, standing at about his own 12-yard line. Spartans in their home green unis with the white lids and white pants. The all-whites with blue numbers and trim for Rochester, and the white helmet with the script Rams on the lid. It's going to be Duke Mullins to boot it away. It'll be a low line drive kick, keeping away from Smith. They'll bounce, take a sideways bounce, and it's going to go out of bounds. Bartley wisely just letting it go out, ushers it over the sideline, and it'll be a procedure penalty right off the bat.
And that's a good thing for the Laurel Spartans. They will not kick it over. As of Aliquippa, they'd make you kick it over because Aliquippa always has that chance to return. So Laurel will take over on their 35-yard line, and tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Mr. Michael Kirkwood Jr. Call Realtor Michael Kirkwood Jr. 724-301-1482 for your residential or commercial properties.
Senior Chase Tinsman will make his way late off the sideline. He's got 9 total touchdowns on the season. Landon Smith in the backfield. You might see some Ben Hannon in the backfield as well. Carter Haney, Lucas Davis are the wide receivers. Colin Bartley in the slot, and the O-line left to right. Colton Hill, Aiden Collins, George Michaels, Ryan DiMuccio, and Keegan O'Brien.
And Laura already changing plays here.
Now get to the line quickly. Check with me. Press coverage on the near sideline. Now backing off a little bit defensively is the defender Mullins. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Smith will get be ankle tackled right at the line of scrimmage, but fall forward for a modest 2 or 3 yard gain on first down.
Yeah, you're going to be here Antonio Laurie on the offensive side a lot, but he made a nice tackle there, grabbing him by the ankles to hold him the short gain. If he doesn't do that, he's going to be breaking through for 8 or 10.
Quickly to the line again of the Spartans. They do snap it quickly. Smith, second carry. Nice cut back up the middle across the 45-yard line, close to midfield for the first down. Explosive first step. Let the block develop on the pulling guard there, Lee, and exploded out to the right at midfield.
Yeah, he's seeing the field well, for sure is landing. Now he's up over 400 yards for the year.
And again, quickly up to the line of scrimmage, not letting the Rams defense get back to the line. It'll be a keeper for Tinsman the whole way here. Across midfield, give him a gain of 1 on first down. The defensive starters for the Rochester Rams: Amari Curry, Adam Schur, Dante Welling, and Jeremiah Haskins on the defensive line. Mason Lucci, Ryan Clark, Michael Norman, the linebackers. Jerome Duke Mullins and Dom Guido are the cornerbacks. Patrick Babel and Jaden Norman in the secondary.
Yeah, I wonder where he got that nickname Duke.
That is a good question. He's obviously not a Carolina fan, as we joked earlier with our coaches down in the field. Pitch to the right on 2nd and 9. Big hole on the right side. Smith lowers the shoulder, and he's going to be close to another first down. Explosive again, right as he gets the ball, plants the right foot, and flies forward. And it looks like that will be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him, yep. Thought maybe they might have a measurement, but they say no.
Well, last week in the first half, he only had 3 carries for 1 yard. So far in his first drive, 3 carries for 24 for Landon Smith. Opening drive of the ball game between Laurel and Rochester.
Oh, what a gorgeous sunset. Jeez.
The game's this way, Lee.
I know.
Bartley, the man in motion. He'll go behind the running back. It's just going to be a handoff up the middle for Smith, and he's still fighting forward, and he never went down, and the wrestler wrestling forward.
But they whistled it, though. Dead.
Yeah, maybe got an extra yard before he did. I apologize. Landon Smith, not a wrestler, though. The way he drives his legs, I'm sure the wrestling team will be wanting him.
Yeah, for sure. He's on the basketball team, though.
So Coach Locke and the athletic director here at Laurel, quite all right with that as well.
Yeah, he has himself a nice basketball year last year.
2nd down and 8, just 2 minutes into tonight's ball game. Play action, rolling out. Tinsman looks to throw for the first time. He's going to flip it over the top of the last second. A good toe-tapping catch made by Bartley, but I believe we're going to have too many men down, or offensive linemen down the field.
Yeah, 2 flags on the play.
When you extend it that long, you think that maybe your quarterback's going to run it. It was a good job to wait as long as possible, but an eligible man downfield is going to be the call.
Yeah, he wanted to go deep on the play, but looking for Braden Smith down there, but he was... Actually, not Braden Smith, excuse me, on the play. Jerome Mullins was on the...
Ineligible man downfield, that's the call against
on the defense. They're doing a nice job on Carter Haney. And I mentioned earlier, Carter Haney averaging close to 30 yards a catch is Carter. So it's going to be a good matchup here on the south side, Mr. Dawson, between Carter Haney and Jerome Mullins. As you can see, or you can't see, boy, the radio side you cannot see, but the video on the if you're watching on Trib Live High School Sports Network or LC SportsNet on the internet, you can see Jerome Mullins really tight coverage on Haney.
Yeah, everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they're going to try to take advantage going on the far sideline, but over the top, this time looking for Lucas Davis on the far side. And it looked like he had a step, but throw made a little bit too quickly. The bump and run was effective enough.
Yeah, sophomore Carter Mason, 5'8", 160. Sophomore on good man-to-man coverage. So no quick 3rd down pass, and then getting to the outside is Smith. He's going to be knocked down at about the 15-yard line. So getting to the outside, a good 28-yard gain for Landon Smith, a first down for the Laurel Spartans.
43 to the 15. What an impressive run on that play. And again, quick to the line is what the difference was, Lee.
Yeah, very quick to the line. I mean, they are getting up there quick, and sometimes they snap, sometimes they don't. But Smith's seen the field very well here early on.
Huge 3rd down conversion on the first drive as the Spartans enter the red zone on their opening drive of the night. Make sure you stop by the red zone. Get all your county sporting apparel needs and drop off a resume while you're at it.
Yeah, they can use the help.
Construction night here at Laurel. Student section hoping their Spartans can put it in the end zone on the opening possession of the game. Handoff, Smith, big hole up the middle, and he's going to walk into the end zone for a 15-yard touchdown. 6 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown. The reigning player of the week certainly picking up where he left off.
Yeah, again, right up through the middle. Again, the offense, the center and the offensive line, they're getting it done. George Michaels, Ryan DiMuccio, Aiden Collins, huge hole right up the middle. And the time for our Cunningham Funeral Home extra point. Our Cunningham Funeral Home, specializing in funeral and cremation services as well as pre-planning.
So Smith caps off an 8-play, 65-yard scoring drive, and now it's going to be Zane Buchter on to attempt the extra point. Tinsman will hold. I believe Bartley is the long snapper. It is a low snap. Good job to get down with it, but then having to go on the scramble drill is Tinsman, the quarterback, and just couldn't get it down in time. So conversion will fail on the bad snap, but it is a 6-0 lead for the Spartans here. Just 3:10 into this opening quarter. Laurel leading Rochester. You're watching at lcsportsnet.com, listening on News Radio 1200 WKST.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity, it's really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
Landon Smith sure trusting the offensive line on that opening drive. He runs 6 of the 8 plays and puts it in from 15 yards out. Back deep to return is number 24. That's Tyler Miller. Taken at the 15-yard line. Actually, just number 4, excuse me. Antonio Laurie back deep to receive. You were saying 2 and 4, weren't you?
Yeah, it was.
Duke Mullins back there. Thank you, Lee, for the sign language. Out to the 32-yard line. That one I can read for sure.
George Joseph's Marketplace Drive Summary Specials daily at the new Cafe and Bakery.
That was an 8-play, 65-yard drive. 3:10 off the clock. Landon Smith, the 15-yard run. Yeah, we don't hang out as much anymore, Lee. We're getting a little rusty, almost like Laurel was at the beginning of last week after taking a week off.
Yeah, it looks like a wishbone.
It is a 3-man, almost like a T in the backfield, and the 3rd man through gets a carry. It's the sophomore Antonio Laurie out near the 40-yard line. Give him a gain of 8 on first down. Antonio Laurie will be joined in the backfield by Amari Curry and Jerome Mullins. Jaden Norman, the new quarterback tonight, the junior, in replace of Parker Lyons. He's accounted for 6 touchdowns, has Parker Lyons on the year, out for the year now with a knee injury. Tight ends will be Ryan Clark and Jeremiah Haskins. You'll see Dom Guido as the wide receiver. And then the offensive line, Dylan Yunt, Adam Schur, Logan Lyons, Michael Norman, and Dante Welling.
And check out the current listings or list your home at castle-realty.com.
More traditional I formation, pitch to the near sideline, strung out well by the Spartan defense, and the first one making a tackle is the cornerback Carter Haney, but credit big number 51 DiMuccio for really stretching it out too there.
Yeah, Carter Haney really came. I'll get more to Carter Haney right there. He was in, just disrupted that play big time, and he said DiMuccio finishing it off. So a great play there, 4-yard loss.
Yeah, back to the 35-yard line. So 3rd down, a big 3rd down early on.
And this is what you want. You want this backup quarterback who hasn't quarterbacked all year. You want him throwing the ball in this situation.
The only good news for Rochester, I guess, is the fact that you did have all week to prepare. It wasn't like it was a last-second practice injury. 2 men in the backfield. Under center is Norman. He's going to look to throw. Goes on the quick out. Caught by Duke Mullins at the 40-yard line, but he's going to be short. Quick pass, I like that to get it out to your playmaker. The defensive back slipped, but we're covered big time, and he's going to hold him a yard short.
Yeah, one referee has the 39, the other has the 40. They're going to mark the 40, which is about a yard short.
And I think that is the right spot, too.
I think so, too. I didn't agree with the 39 spot. Yeah, definitely the 40.
Yeah, he caught it right at the 40 and was hit immediately. So now decision time early on for Shenango graduate Gene Matsuk, now in his 37th year with the program, 23rd as the head coach. Got his 200th win last year, and he's going to send the offense out on 4th down.
What decision?
4th and 1, under center, in the T formation. Hard count maybe here. 2 seconds left. They will snap it, and it's a quarterback sneak up the middle, and it's going to be a late surge that will just give the Rams enough for the first down. It was a long 1 yard they needed too, Lee, and
he didn't have it. Yeah, he did not have it at first. Without a doubt, he did not have it, and the referees, credit to them that they did not blow that whistle.
It was still moving.
I was expecting a whistle there, but definitely the line's still moving just a little bit, and he was able to get that second surge and get that first down.
Early score update, thanks to our friends at the Crane Room. Union an 8-0 lead over Springdale on homecoming. Non-conference action there.
Q-Sauce.
Little option look, handoff to Antonio Laurie. Not much room there. A 1 yard pickup this time up the middle. That first carry worked well for the Rochester Rams. Since then, not a lot of room on the ground.
Yeah, Colton Hill in there first. He's on that wrestling team, 30-9 overall. He wrestles the 285 mark, does Colton Hill.
Listed at 6'4", 270 is the senior.
Yeah, 4 wrestlers on this in this Laurel Spartan team. We'll touch on them during the night.
Yeah, Colton Hill, as you just mentioned, he's one of the medalists on that team as well. He finished 3rd last year in the WPIAL. Tough time getting this play call in, and this might have to be an early timeout call as they're just getting to the huddle with 5 seconds on the play clock, and they will spend their first Pontius Insurance timeout of the evening. Make sure you take the time out to save money on your insurance by calling agents Dan Pontius, Jessica Weiland, or Tracy Giddings to get started with your home, auto, business, or life insurance policy today.
Yeah, great. Thanks to everybody here at Laurel Spartan Stadium for taking great care of us, and I think they provided the sunset behind us.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that was.
Well, I'm not worried about that as much as I am about what Mrs. Lori Heights has provided us for our halftime entertainment.
Oh boy, that is entertainment too. Hot sausage. We got some looks like some pizza bread or pizza rolls, some type of salad. We got some homemade cookies down there.
Well, she said when I missed Meatball Week a couple of weeks ago that I'd be treated well. So thanks to her, thanks to everybody here. Always a hospitable atmosphere here.
And the chocolate chip cookies in honor of Mr. Mark Schoss.
Oh, of course. Back to the action with 5:24 remaining in the opening quarter. Laurel with a 6-0 lead. Rochester now on their first drive. They face a 2nd and 9 near midfield. Handoff Laurie, his 4th carry, and he's going nowhere because he's wrapped up by Laban Barker immediately. Maybe a yard, maybe fights forward for another one late. We'll give him a gain of 2.
Yeah, Laban Barker. I don't know if he was this year. Last year he was on the prom court, was Mr. Laban Barker.
Now, wouldn't have prom court yet.
Yeah.
Though they did have an early homecoming this year, did the Spartans.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Wow. Yeah, it was really early. It was second game of the year, it seemed like.
Yeah, third officially. It was the first game against Mohawk. First game Mohawk had.
He's a stud basketball player, is Laban, though.
So first time in the gun on 3rd down and 7. Rolling out to his right is Norman. He's going to drop now, throw it out. And what a beautiful pass. Caught at the 40-yard line by Duke Mullins for a first down. That's the backup quarterback throwing a dime.
That was sweet. Really a great throw. The only bad thing is he looked at him the whole way, but the good thing is Mullins found a spot in that soft part in that zone, and Norman hit him right in stride. 1 foot in, get out of bounds, first down.
Marking at the 41. That's a 14-yard pass for Rochester, and they got a 4th down conversion, now a 3rd down conversion on this opening drive. Already down to 4:41 remaining in the opening quarter. T formation, 3 men in the backfield. It'll be Mullins out of the backfield getting the carry on this one. His 17th rushing attempt of the year. Gets inside the 40, mark him down to the 38. Gain of 3 yards. And that, Coach Matsuk has always been fine with that. The 3 yards in the cloud of dust.
Yeah. Yeah, you're describing it as a T. I sort of look like it as the Oklahoma old wishbone back in the days.
Yeah, the middle of the T or the wishbone is moved up just ever so slightly. You're right. So T formation, but sometimes you see where they do line up all in a row.
Right.
But right now you're seeing Amari Curry as the middle guy. This is a true wishbone. Definitely a yard in front of Mullins and Laurie, the other two in the backfield. There you go, unbalanced line to the left. That's where they run it with Laurie. He's going to try to stretch it to the outside, and he's not going to get the corner. Again, great job in pursuit. On the play, I believe it was Barker and Haney.
Yeah, Ryan Clark tried to block Haney, he had none of it. Went right through Clark into the backfield and got the 3-yard loss.
Actually marked it as a 4-yard loss all the way back to the 42-yard line. So
Laurie not getting on track so far.
Yeah, 8 yards on his first carry, but since then, -4, 1, 2, and -4. That one making it a 3rd down and 11 to go. Ball at the 42-yard line of the Spartans. Likely 4-down territory here, though, for the Rams.
If they went for it before.
Norman gets the snap, and he's going to fire one down the near sideline. One-on-one coverage, and it's going to be up and over everybody's head. I think he was expecting Mullins to go down the sideline, and Duke was trying to cut it inside the defender.
Yeah, a little bit of jawing going on. Friendly jawing between Mullins and Cullen Bartley, but good one-on-one coverage. I agree with you, though. If they throw that ball to the outside, maybe a chance.
Well, this is a drive that has gone 10 plays and taken about 5 minutes off of the clock, Lee, but they are going to punt on 4th and 11. Play a little field position. Not a bad idea. And it's going to be our mysterious number 28 back to punt. That's Patrick Babel, wearing 28 instead of 18 tonight. He corrals the high snap and gets a low end-over-end punt off. Bounces at the 20-yard line. Takes a great Rochester bounce. Inside the 10, inside the 5, down at about the 2-yard line. So the gamble works perfectly for Coach Matt Stook. Mark it at the, we'll call it the 2.
Yeah, DiMuccio had a chance for it, but overran it. He was in the backfield. He ran past the punter. So he had a chance to block that punt, but a 40-yard kick, no return. No score here, or 6-0 Laurel, 3:38 to go here, first quarter.
So we'll see how conservative the Laurel offense will be in the shadow of their own goalposts. Smith, 6 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown on the first drive. He is the I-back. That's the only man in the backfield. Bartley in motion, and it's going to be just a quarterback sneak up the middle to get out of danger. And how about that? Kick up about 5-6 yards on that quarterback sneak for Tinsman.
Make it 7 yards. They're going to mark it down at the 8. I thought gave him the 9, but we've seen that a lot though from the Laurel Spartans. Tinsman just snaps and just goes.
Remember the Dom Wade days where it would go for 10, 11 yards sometimes.
Yeah.
Now this one going in the wrong direction, pitched to the right and met in the backfield for a 3-yard loss is Smith.
Yeah, great play there by Curry to disrupt that play. Amari Curry, 5'11", 250, got great size. Or excuse me, he's 6 foot 200, excuse me. Still good size.
So a loss of 2 makes it 3rd down and 6, ball at the 6-yard line.
Big play early here for Rochester if you can force a punt.
Yeah, 3 and out after pinning the Spartans inside their own 2 would certainly be a huge accomplishment. Smith will get the handoff, and he's not going to get much. He may have lost a yard again.
No chance. Bottom of that pile. That's going to be number 62. That's Dante Welling on the basketball team for Rochester, and he flattened that. Landon Smith, no gain. So that's what you wanted.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Down to 2:20 remaining in the opening quarter, and after the 3 and out, Laurel will have to punt it away with the punter and the quarterback, Chase Tinsman, standing in the middle of the R in Laurel in the middle of that end zone.
So only one, but you can read this, right?
Yeah,
okay.
That's Antonio Laurie standing at the Spartan 45-yard line. Tinsman gets the snap, runs up, end-over-end kick towards the near sideline. He's going to keep it away from Laurie. Will take a sideways Spartan bounce and go out of bounds right at the 45-yard line. So a 39-yard punt will do the job.
Yeah, no return, exactly what you want. High school football, it's pretty darn good. 39 and no return.
And that means with 1:55 remaining in the first quarter, Rochester will get the ball back. They trail Laurel 6-0 here in our high school game of the week on News Radio 1200 WKST. You're watching it at lcsportsnet.com.
Yeah, I want to thank the Penn Ohio Bottled Water for delivery of your 3 or 5 gallon water cooler systems, or get cases of bottles delivered to you at your home or at work. That's the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company.
They'll go with the wishbone set. 3 men in the backfield, tight formation on 1st and 10. Misdirection, fake to the fullback, and the 3rd man through gets the handoff. That's Mullins, who's going to get inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line.
Boy, hanging on for dear life for the Laurel Spartans. That was Aiden Collins. He probably dragged Collins at least 4 yards. He had him by the ankle and just kept on going. Good strong run there.
7-yard gain on 1st down. Second down and 3 coming up. Ball marked at the 38-yard line, just over a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, late arriving crowd here today at Laurel, but still a good crowd. Good crowd on the other side for Rochester.
Mullins now the lone receiver to the left. Wishbone formation again, though. Handoff up the middle. Not much room for a new runner. That's Carter Mason, the sophomore, getting his first carry of the season.
Brought down by Colton Hill.
Give him a gain of 2. They'll mark it at the 36-yard line. So third down and 1 coming up for Rochester. Trailing by 6, late first quarter. Carter will check out. They'll bring the tight end Jeremiah Haskins back into the contest.
Yeah, sort of the type of game we expected here. A lot of running on both sides of the ball. Rochester doesn't normally traditionally throw the ball much.
Total of 4 passes thrown so far in the first quarter. 2 backfield set, double tight to the right. It'll hand off up the middle, stutter step, and a first down on the first carry of the night for big number 33. That's Amari Curry, and he's still dragging the rugby scrum. Inside the 25, down to the 24, 23-yard line. Flag thrown into that pile late. Currently, it goes down as a gain of 12 yards.
The only kind of thing I can come up with would be a face mask in there.
First hit on the play was great.
I was starting to say somebody acted after the whistle blew. Yeah, you were right, Lee, all over it. An inadvertent 5-yard face mask will be called against Laurel.
First down.
Boy, but Curry, boy, did he show some power there. Taking 5 guys to bring him down. Let's see if Rochester will not have to run a clock. It's supposed to be a 5-yard penalty. There we go. Clock should start. See if Rochester.
That's not a 5-yard mark-off. They marked off 10 yards on that penalty. That was a 12-yard run that got to the 26. They've marked off they've marked off down to the 12. They marked that as a 15-yarder. He called an inadvertent.
He called 5, yeah.
He called 5, but they marked it as a 15. So first and goal, or not first and goal, Justin's out of the 10-yard line. This diving attempt, and it's going to be incomplete as they try to throw it quickly out to Duke Mullins, but Rochester now in the red zone after that penalty.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there is still inadvertent face mask in the high school game.
Yeah, they are in the red zone. They are voted best of the best in Lawrence County for uniform supply and silk screening. You can call the red zone. You can score big at the red zone, redzone.com.
Just 11 seconds remaining in the quarter. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Rochester. 2 men in the backfield. They kind of spread out the wishbone this time, and he'll pitch it to the left to Mullins. He's going to cut up field, breaks a tackle, breaks another, almost spins out of a third, but Smith will hang on and keep him out of the end zone. It'll be third down and about a yard to go, but that'll be the end of quarter number 1. Rochester trails Laurel 6-0, but are knocking on the doorstep. You're watching it here at lcsportsnet.com, the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
That will be the end of the first quarter. Your score.
Looking to buy, sell, or rent in Lawrence County? Get Realtor Michael Kurtwood Jr. in your starting lineup today. Michael Kurtwood Jr. of Castle Realty caters to buyers, sellers, and renters of Lawrence County and the surrounding areas. Call Michael Kurtwood Jr. at 724-301-1482 today. Check out his current listings or list your home at castle-realty.com. People you know, people you trust.
Hey. Come on in, let's go. Yeah! Laurel teachers support all of our athletes on and off the field.
All right, okay.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
6-0 the lead. Laurel over Rochester, though Rochester with a third down and short from about the 3-yard line to potentially tie or take the lead. Union has taken an early lead, 16-0. For your quick out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by the Crane Room. Other games going on in the county tonight. Mohawk hosts Elwood, Shenango hosting Northgate. Farrell is hosting Wilmington up in District 10. Neshannock hosting New Brighton, and Newcastle traveling to Montour.
Yeah, big game in 5A. Gateway's all over Hempfield. The surprising Hempfield Spartans are up 19-0 early on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a battle of unbeatens, isn't it, in that game?
I believe so.
Wow.
No, I think Gateway has one loss.
That's right. They lost to Franklin Regional.
Yeah.
3rd and 1. Mullins will get the handoff up the middle, lowers his shoulder, lowers the boom, and gets into the end zone for the 3-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 6 on the first play of the second quarter.
Yeah, Brady Gorman with the big block. The offensive line is really laying the foundation for the team.
Dorn concrete foundation block right there for sure. Clearing the way and tying it up thanks to our friends at dornconcrete.com. Give them a call, visit online to get your free estimate today. And it looks like we are going to see I thought we might see another 2-point conversion try, but it looks like it's actually going to be Antonio Laurie on to attempt the extra point.
Sponsored by the Cunningham Funeral Home.
Laurie does have 7 points on point after. Some might have been 2-point conversions, but this one is true and gives Rochester a 7-6 advantage just 4 seconds into the second quarter. We'll step aside, be back in a moment. You're watching at lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP.
Second quarter.
Having a safe and healthy home is not something to play games with, especially if your home was built before 1978. You may be exposed to extremely harmful lead-based paint hazards. If you're concerned about lead in your home, don't roll the dice on your family's safety. LCAP's Healthy Homes Lead Hazard Reduction Program is here to help you win the battle. Your family's health and safety is the goal. Contact the Department of Healthy Homes today.
6 plays, 45 yards, just 2 minutes off of the clock. There's your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Family owned and operated since 1915. Duke Mullins' 3-yard touchdown run makes it a 7-6 advantage for Rochester over Laurel. And it's exactly what we expected, Lee. A lot of ground and pound. And the field position, the punt, the 3 and out, that's the key.
Yeah, they went for it in 4th down from their own 40, but this time then they decided to punt from the Laurel 40-yard line, but it worked out that time. It was a good job by the Rochester Rams driver right down the field. They get the 7-6 early lead.
Now let's see if Laurel can bring the response as Landon Smith will stand at about his own 15. They're going to kick it away from him. It'll be taken by one of the up men who goes to his knees as he slipped. That was Aiden Collins slipping at the 20-yard line. The former quarterback turned offensive lineman was ready to lay down the lumber running the ball rather than laying the blocks.
That's one thing you don't hear too often, offensive lineman to ex-quarterback.
Yeah, he was the backup quarterback as a sophomore. Basically became a lineman during practice out of necessity and played so well he worked his way into the starting lineup by the end of the year last year.
Let's see how Laurel responds now. Still like that matchup, Mullins on Haney right now.
And they start deep in their own territory at the 22. High snap, jet sweep action fake to Bartley, and it'll be a keeper by Tinsman. Short gain up the middle, maybe 2 or 3.
Good job, Clayton Potts, the 6-foot sophomore, 240-pound lineman in the backfield, tripped him up.
Norman, along with 33, Amari Curry. Second down.
Now 24-0 Union in that ball game. We weren't expecting much in that one. Springdale actually only dressed 14 last week. Ooh. And their quarterback got hurt.
Jeez.
Though Chicks picked Springdale, so we'll have to go give a call to Chicks Picks after this one. Busted play here, and it's going to be a huge hit in the backfield. Is coming in was Dom Guido. Miscommunication between Tinsman and Smith in the backfield.
Yeah, Chicks Picks crystal ball must be broken again, maybe. I don't know. It's still early, though, James. Things can change.
Huge loss. It'll be 3rd and 13 now. Loss of 5. As Tinsman went to hand it off to Landon Smith, and Smith was expecting a toss. Now they're behind the sticks. After that first drive went so well for Laurel, not much going right here. Man in motion is Bartley. He'll get the handoff on the jet sweep to the far sideline. He's got room. He breaks through a couple of tackles and then gets double teamed, though, just shy of the yard to gain. Quick, explosive step. He needed 13. It looks like he's only going to get 11, though.
Yeah, boy, thought he was going to get there. He really lowered his head there at the end, but could not get that first down. It's going to bring up a 4th down, another punting situation for the Laurel Spartans.
Yeah, Laurie, I think, is the one who finally knocked him down. This is where it could be interesting, though. 4th and 2, early second quarter. Laurel down by 1, but your quarterback is the man on the fake punt, and they've run a fake punt and run it for a touchdown earlier this year as well.
I think we were here for that.
Yeah, you were. Low end over end kick. They do boot it away. It's going to bounce out of bounds on about the 40-yard line. Not the best punt for Tinsman, but he keeps it away from the dangerous Duke Mullins in the return game.
Yeah, you don't want it near Duke Mullins.
So back-to-back punts on 3 and outs, actually, for the Spartans after their opening drive went so well. They trail 7-6, 9:55 remaining in the opening half. Coming up at the half, we'll hopefully get a little bit of look at the Laurel Spartan and Rochester marching bands. We'll also tune in a little bit with the Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show. Midterm grades coming from Dr. Harlan. Misdirection in the backfield. Believe it was Mullins who finally got the carry, and he's going to pick up a gain of 1 yard on first down. And you wondered if Mullins might get a few more touches, just knowing that your quarterback, Parker Lyons, out, if you're just tuning in, out for the year with a knee injury, and maybe out for all 3 sports.
We hope not. When you're talking knee, it's just,
yeah.
He's like you said, we just feel for Parker Lyons because he's just been injury bug. I mean, he's a good athlete too. I mean, was going to be starting to get some college looks too, and now that's going to have to wait.
2nd down and 9, 2 men in the backfield. Going to bring a man in motion, the tight end, across the formation from right to left, but then they're going to run it back to the right. Not much room here, but fighting forward. Look at this. Dragging tacklers.
Fumble.
Antonio Laurie, but the ball's on the ground at the end of the play. It looks like Rochester may have gotten it back, though.
Somehow Curry got it back. I have no idea how Curry got it back. The ball went forward and somehow deflected back to him as he was laying on the ground. But boy, what a great run there by Amari Curry. 6', 200-pounder we mentioned earlier. He's got some good strength in there in those legs.
Well, he averages over 10 yards a carry for that size. It's not with the breakaway speed as much as it is just the downhill running and dragging tacklers.
He's fun to watch.
That one went for 14. Ball now the 45-yard line of Laurel. Handoff to the first man through, trying to give it to him again. And this time, Curry is stuffed up for a 1-yard gain.
5 Spartans in on that tackle.
It takes all 5 to knock down this huge junior running back.
George Michael's in first.
Here's another score update we're going to try to keep our eyes on up north. A great one between Sharpsville and Sharon up in District 10.
Yeah, Hickory was leading Slippery Rock 8-0 early on.
We'll have a chance probably later on in the year to see Slippery Rock against Wilmington. Have that penciled in as a game to look for, I believe, week 7 or 8. 2nd down and 9. Dropping back is the quarterback. He's going to throw into double coverage on the far sideline, looking for Mullins. Jump ball, and who came down with it? It was Duke Mullins. He literally ripped it away from Lewis and Smith.
How? I have no idea. That was a wounded duck pass. He was not good at all throwing into double coverage. It was a jump ball. The Steeler fans been screaming for that all year. Just throw it up and let your athlete make a play. Well, Mullins made the play right there.
He's got 3 catches, all 3 receptions. That one going for 26 yards. And in the red zone again are the Rochester Rams. To the right side, looking for Laurie. He's going to get to the corner, gain about 3 or 4 yards. Mark him down inside the 15, maybe down to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, make sure you stop by the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. Sporting goods, custom apparel, embroidery, and more.
2nd down, 5.
That's Laurie's first carry since the opening drive. They do mark it at the 13, 2nd down and 5 coming up.
Oh, when Curry is running through people, why not?
And Mullins doing the same.
Yeah.
T formation again, under center. Handoff. It is the big man. He's going to get held up right at the line again. Was Amari Curry. 6 foot, 200 pounds. Looks a lot bigger than that, I'll tell you what.
He sure does, yeah. Ben Hennon was hanging on for dear life. He had him around the waist and just trying to drag him back. Couldn't. Finally, the cavalry came to help him out. Definitely 4-down territory now.
And no gain on that carry. 3rd down. 5 to go. 7:15 remaining in the first half. Rochester trying to expand on their 7-6 advantage. In the shotgun, 3 receiver set. Mullins to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Norman was going to pitch to the right to Laurie, cuts upfield, sees a hole, explodes inside the 10. It's going to be close, and I think he will have enough to move the chains.
I thought maybe Laurie's got maybe a half steps early start there, but got away with it. Nice cut back, got the first down, 1st and goal.
That looks like a first.
Here's a sign you don't want to be seeing. Brady Cooper just had the helmet taken away from him here on the sideline for Laurel.
From the Laurel 7.
Not at all.
Looks like he's working on the left arm. He'll have to watch from the sideline as it's 1st and goal from the 7 for Rochester, who are now 4 of 6 on 3rd down. Mullins, third man through, tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he'll get a yard or two down to the 5.
Boy, Aiden Collins, nice play there to bring him down. But this is Rochester football right here. The T-look, the wink, the wishbone, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's just power football. Coach Matzook's been running this for years.
On the O-line, weighing 250, 250, 185, 220, and 335.
That's the 335 I've been waiting for you to talk about.
Yeah, I remember looking on film, Dante Welling, and just looking at film and saying, well, other than Welling, the line doesn't look all that big. And then you see the numbers, and you see in person when we're down there. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're big.
2nd and goal from the 5. This time, Laurie, third man through, coming to the left side, sneaking underneath a lot of the defenders, and he's going to get down to, well, it looks like they're marking at the 2-yard line, so a gain of 3.
Yeah, Welling listed at 6'5", 335.
10th play of the drive coming up as we hit the midway point of quarter number 2.
And Welling's also listed on the basketball team, by the way.
Yeah, you want to guard him in the post?
Reminds me a little bit of the old Nate Hartung days. That was before your day. He was 400 pounds.
They do mark it to the 1. 3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line. T formation, under center is Norman. Hard count, he's going to try to sneak it up the middle. Gets help from all 3 of his comrades in the backfield. They blow the whistle, and I think he's short.
He didn't get it. No way.
That's the keeper for Jaden Norman.
Bottom of that pile for the Laurel Spartans. Sorry about that. That was Karsten Allwert on the bottom of that pile.
No gain, couldn't get the pile to move. So now on 4th down, do you try to sneak it again, or are you going to go give it to one of your big boys?
I'm giving it to Curry.
I think I'm with you. 15 seconds on the play clock. I think Rochester's going to elect to use their 2nd Pontius Insurance timeout of the first half.
Yeah, I'm going behind the big 300-pounder. And I'm giving it to Curry, and I'm letting him go.
Big thanks again to our friends here at Laurel High School. Student helpers running the cameras for us tonight. They're running actually the entire production end with their system, so we thank them for that.
Well, you better believe it.
Awesome stuff, giving you the sights and sounds here from Laurel High School. When we come out of the timeout, it'll be the 11th play of the drive. That started at their own 40-yard line for the Rochester Rams, trying to extend their 7-6 advantage. Wow, we have a moment. Let's give you time at the Lawrence County SportsNet to be prepared for next week. Lots of stuff. Volleyball match on Tuesday, soccer match on Monday now. Big one between Mohawk and Freedom. That Mohawk girls soccer program has been on fire. 4th down and goal as we come back to the action. Norman will be under center. Wishbone set behind him. 3rd man through is Duke Mullins. He's going to spin out of a hit in the backfield, and he's going to cross the goal line. He was stuffed short, but he spun out of the DiMuccio tackle and got into the end zone.
Yeah, DiMuccio couldn't get the arms around him. He hit him hard, knocked him back just a little bit, but great job spinning, finding a room, get in the end zone. So great drive by the Rochester Rams.
2nd Duke Mullins touchdown on the ground tonight. First one from 3 yards out, this one from 1 yard. Makes it a 13-6 lead. Point after attempt coming from Antonio Laurie. That was a 5-minute, 19-second drive, too. Snap is back, and the kick, I believe, was partially blocked.
Yeah, Landon Smith got a piece of it.
So it keeps it a 13-6 advantage for Rochester over Laurel. We'll step aside, be back in a moment. You're watching WPIAL football here at lcsportsnet.com. DNR Lawn Care can take care of all of your landscaping and grass cutting needs. They are fully insured, accept just about any payment method, and have nearly 20 years of experience in the lawn maintenance business. Call DNR Lawn Care today to schedule an estimate or send them a message on Facebook. DNR Lawn Care. Have your lawn done right. Whether you're hosting a big party,
it's family dinner night, or you just need a place to go and watch the big game, the Crane Room Grill is the place to be. Need that something special for your upcoming event? Ask about the CR Brewing Company's custom brewing options to give your big day that personalized touch that your guests will never forget. Visit craneroom.com to see their full menu, or call in your takeout order now at 724-656-1553. The Crane Room Grill and CR Brewing Company, a winning combination. All right, now it's a three-headed monster for your winning combination in the backfield for Rochester, and Duke Mullins getting his second rushing touchdown of the evening, capping off an 11-play scoring drive, and on fourth down, puts it in the end zone to make it 13-6. Remember, Laurel received the opening kickoff here as well. Smith will get his first attempt at a kickoff, takes it from the 17-yard line, big hole up the middle. Now he's going to try to break it to the near side, breaks out of one tackle, breaks out of another, has some room across the 40, still fighting forward out to the 43 before the spark plug, slippery as he is, gets knocked down.
He tried. He broke about 4 different tackles, but finally Rochester able to bring him down. But good field position for the Laurel Spartans. They're going to start 42 on their own 42 with 4:26 to go in the half.
Yeah, best starting field position of the night for sure.
And they need to do better in 3 and out like they have the last 2 drives.
8-play scoring drive on the first possession of the night. But you're right, a pair of 3 and outs since. And these cornerbacks are just daring Laurel to try to go over the top. Bartley, man in motion, and we have motion up front before the snap, and from who threw this flag, could be a snap infraction possibly against the Spartans, some kind of procedure penalty, their 3rd infraction of the night.
Well, Mullins was first team all-conference and second team all-state for defensive back, so it's going to be tough to beat him as he's already getting those accolades.
Well, we got another barn burner. Neshannock 34-0 over New Brighton at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Union now 40-0 early second quarter in their game against Springdale.
I think we picked the right game.
13-6 the scoreline here, with Rochester leading Laurel. Bartley again, motion man, high snap goes through the hands of Tinsman. He's going to try to pick it up, and at the last second now he's going to have to dive on it, and I don't think he got it. He's still fighting for the football down there with Antonio Laurie, and if it's going to be simultaneous possession, it stays with the Spartans, but nope, it's going to be Laurie with the ball.
Tinsman is laying on his back.
And Tinsman has the football, you're right. And Tinsman can't believe that.
But they're going to give it to Laurie. They're going to give it to the Rochester Rams, so a big Medora Bonner Law turnover.
Wow.
With a local firm. Whoops. Sorry about that. There we go. MedoraBonnerLaw.com, your community firm with a personal connection and individualized service. Thanks to Medora Bonner Law for sponsoring those turnovers. Unfortunately, it's on the Laurel side of the ball, so Rochester in great big business right now.
Going to send a man in motion. Mullins out of the backfield is the receiver to the left. They're going to look his way on first down. Actually going to throw it over the middle. Wide open tight end, and he dropped it at the 5-yard line. It was just a bit behind the intended receiver, Jeremiah Haskins, who nearly had his first catch and his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, it was probably a half a yard behind him, but unfortunately he looked towards the end zone instead of looking the ball into his hands, and unfortunately for Jeremiah, dropped the ball. Fortunately for the Laurel Spartans, he dropped it. Great design play though, because everybody in the house, I think they thought they're going to go to Mullins on the left side, but Haskins was three steps behind everybody.
2 men in the backfield now on 2nd down and 10. They'll bring Haskins in motion as a tight end, and somebody again motion up front.
That's the big man. The 335-pounder moved just a step.
That's the downside of being 6'5", 330.
Second down, 15.
I wonder how he's handling the smell of those hamburgers on the far side.
We were joking with Coach Cooper before the game that they wisely put the Spartan Snack Shack on the far side of the field, the visitor side of the field.
Oh my gosh, that smelled good. Not as good as the hot sausage here.
Good news, it looks like Brady Cooper is back in there defensively at his middle linebacker position. 2nd down and 15. Mullins will get the pitch going from left to right. Has an opening. He has a burst of speed, and if not for a shoestring tackle, he was going to walk into the end zone.
Yeah, I believe Landon Smith is the one that got that shoestring tackle. But boy, what a burst of speed there from Mullins. Got that right side hole there, and made a nice cut up, 1st and goal, as the Rochester Rams back in the red zone.
Make sure you stop by just a few minutes up the road on Wilmington Road in Neshannock Township. Our friends at the Red Zone voted best of the best. Don't forget about their spirit sales. Help raise your organization plenty of money. That is open. Mullins will get the carry again to the right side out of the wishbone formation. Not much room this time. Gets down to the 7-yard line.
He has a nice cutback, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Really does. A quick cutback and making people miss. Demuccio on the bottom of that pile. Calling his name a lot. At the end of this game, we will have our Melee Chiropractic play of the game and our LCAP player of the game.
2:50 remaining in the first half. Time possession is
huge.
That's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
We'll get you those full numbers when we can. I formation, a true I formation set with Spencer lead block for Laurie, who gets the toss to the right. He puts the right foot in the ground, cuts up, and cuts into the end zone for the 8-yard score.
Runner is Antonio Laurie, crosses the goal line.
Another darn big block by number 54. That was Michael Norman, a 5'10", 220-pound lineman with over 30 years of experience throwing concrete. It's a team of contractors who went laying down the blocks for your home or office or job. But boy, he put a heck of a block to spring him in. The pancake block. And right now, Rochester having their way with the Laurel Spartans. Laurel struck early. They were up 6-0, but Rochester putting on a show right now. It looks like they might go for 2 here.
Try to get it back after their last attempt was blocked. They will go shotgun formation. Laurie to the right of the quarterback, Norman. Mullins, jet sweep, going from left to right, and he's going to fight forward into the end zone, but I think this one's going to be called back for an illegal formation. Didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Thanks, Henry. Henry throwing his first flag of the night.
How often do we get an official shout out like that? But, you know.
We joke with them.
Some of our men in stripes have been very helpful to us.
Yes.
Especially Mr. Frenchel and me. Even invited us out to the officials meeting at the beginning of the year to get some rules clarifications. But they do call official legal procedure. They originally called it illegal shift, but they're going to say just illegal procedure. So likely that the motion man was originally on the line of scrimmage. So that'll move it back to the 7-yard line, and now we'll see, will they try the extra point now this time?
I say no. It's almost out of his range. You know, I don't say that jokingly. It made 20. He barely got on the extra point. It barely went 25 yards on the extra point that he made. They will stay going for 2.
After Laurie's 12th total touchdown of the year, they're going to go T formation. They have, I thought I counted 12 men out in the field, but they throw it now, jump ball for Mullins, and he's got it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
There are 12 men on the field. Yeah,
there's 12.
They went tight formation with 2 tight ends, 3 in the backfield, the quarterback, and a wide receiver.
And they missed it.
And, yeah, no one sees that there are 12 people coming off the field. It doesn't matter. 2-point conversion good. Makes it 21-6 in favor of Rochester. We'll be back in a moment here at lcsportsnet.com. For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between, let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Well, the running game certainly keeping Rochester in the game so far here tonight, Lee. And Mullins and Laurie each with 9 carries, each have a touchdown. Actually, Mullins now with 2.
Yeah, Mullins has been impressive. They just threw it up to him in that 2-point conversion, let him go make the play, and he's made it. Made it earlier on the one catch and made it on the 2-point conversion.
And end kick bounces at the 20-yard line and basically dies at the 18. Smith on the return. Actually, checked, I believe that's Aiden Collins on the return out to the 35-yard line. So decent starting field position. Still 3 timeouts, 2:23 remaining. So at this point, the Spartans need something to jumpstart this offense. The first drive went 8 plays, 65 yards, went for a touchdown. 7 plays since, 2 3-and-outs and a fumble. Start this drive at the 36-yard line.
So we got 3 timeouts, though.
Hand off to Smith, left end, nowhere to go at all, and some frustration starting to show Colton Hill.
Yeah, Logan Lyons, the sophomore. You notice how many times I've been saying sophomore on that defensive side of the ball?
I do like this, though, a little bit of tempo after the no gain there for Smith, trying to get back into the swing of things. Now they'll go and check with me, back with the sideline, get the play call from Coach Cooper and company. We're down to 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 21 unanswered points for Rochester. Play action. Tinsman looks down the field, has Bartley streaking down the seam, caught at the 40, the 35, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown! Spartans, the first receiving touchdown of the year for Colin Bartley. They called up the play over the top, and they result with a 64-yard touchdown.
Yeah, they thought they faked the pass over the middle to Carter Haney, and then they looked that way and then did not pass there and went deep to Bartley. Jade Norman bit inside, and that's what allowed Bartley to get deep, and then we'll go for 2. The Cunningham Funeral extra point.
They'll go 3 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Bartley in the slot to the right with Carter Haney. Laurel asking for the call again. The lineman didn't see the call. Still plenty of time. 5 seconds on the play clock. Tinsman brings Bartley in motion. Jet sweep, zone read. Keeper by Tinsman trying to go up the middle, and he's not going to get there. Conversion will not be successful. Keeps it a 9-point game, 21-12. Laurel trailing Rochester. Back in a moment. Rams lead here at lcsportsnet.com and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale-Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
Nobody covering Colin Bartley on that last long touchdown. What a beautiful pass from Tinsman, too.
Yeah, it was a great pump fake, too, to Haney. I mean, Haney drew the coverage, and as that pump fake drew the defensive backs, they bit, and then it allowed Bartley to get loose.
So 1:39 remaining. It's a 9-point lead for Rochester. They're ready to receive the kickoff, and remember, they will receive the second half kickoff as well.
If they choose. But I think they will.
The option to choose. It's going to be a surprise onside. They're trying to tip it over the top. Ball's loose. Recovered by the Spartans. A surprise onside kick recovered by Braden Lewis.
Recovering that football.
Wow, that hit a Rochester Ram. They weren't looking for it. Did not see who it hit in the Rams side, but the ball bounced towards the Laurel Spartans. Lewis right on cue, 5'8", 141-pound junior. Falls in the ball. Spartans back in business. Remember, they do have all 3 timeouts.
That's huge.
But what a perfect onside kick, too.
Wow, beautiful. Right over the top. One of the up men had to try to turn around and catch it over the shoulder. And, those are usually the guys who don't have the best hands on the team or on that front line. Worked to perfection. So Laurel will take over at Rochester's 45, a minute 36 remaining. Cooper, the H-back, will go in motion left to right. He's the lead blocker for Smith. Bounces outside, bounces back inside. Huge run inside the 35, down at the 34-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark him back at the 35, just a yard short. The clock will keep on running.
Hold down by number 8, Carter Mason.
Quickly up to the line, 1:20 remaining in the half.
Ball's on the 35-yard line.
Tinsman rolls out to his right on 2nd and 1. Looking down the field, steps up, has a man open deep, and coming back to it, it's going to be a jump ball and ripped away by the defense. Interception, Jaden Norman.
Now they're saying no catch.
No, they were fighting for it. Apparently Norman could not hang on to it. The official comes in and says, no, the ball hit the ground as he was fighting for it. A break for the Spartans. Huge break for the Spartans. There was a man open deep, and it was just a little bit underthrown because Norman, the hoopster and the track star, was sprinting back to knock it away and nearly came down with the interception.
Looked like Bartley had it, and it looked like Norman had it, but like you said, that ball either came loose or Norman just dropped it. Don't know.
3rd down, 1 to go. Rochester's going to take their final Pontius Insurance timeout of the first half. Visit PontiusInsurance.com and get the best rates and customer service by calling a local agent today.
Yeah, Bartlett also part of that, or Colin Bartley also part of that track team also. But he's one of the top wrestlers in the WPIAL. He finished first in the WPIAL at the 113 which is still amazes me that Colin Bartley, he's listed at 140 in the football roster, but he wrestles at 113 where he won a WPIAL championship. He's 82-31 career record is Colin. That just amazes me. You can lose 20 pounds. Wonder if he'll wrestle at 113 this year.
I'll tell you what, Lee, believe it or not, the time of possession right now is almost even. It doesn't make much sense, but 13 minutes for Rochester, currently at 10 minutes for Laurel.
No, it doesn't make sense.
I'll double check my numbers during the halftime break.
Yeah, break out the abacus.
I can't. Don Rebel stole it.
He still has it?
He still has the abacus. 3rd down and 1. Out of the timeout. Laurel still with all 3 remaining. Just a minute remaining in the first half. Smith is going to get dragged down in the backfield for a loss. 4th down coming up, and now Laurel has to make a decision because the clock's running.
I say call timeout and set it up. Curry, just a great play to get in the backfield.
They're getting quickly up to the line. They'll get set. Under center is Tinsman, and he's going to take the QB sneak up the middle and get that 1st down. 40 seconds left, and now I think Laurel will take their first timeout.
Boy, you see that so often for the Laurel Spartans. Just get up to the line quick. Tinsman snaps quickly. Let that offensive line get you those 2-3 yards. Down to 41 seconds left. You're still got plenty of time because you still got 2 timeouts, and Laurel trailing 21-12 right now here in the first half.
Yeah, Landon Smith started with a 15-yard touchdown run on Laurel's opening drive. Since then, it was all Rochester. 3 straight scores by the Rochester Rams, the first 2 coming after 3 and outs by Laurel, the last one coming on a short field after a fumble, made it 21-6 with 2:29 remaining. 2 plays is all it took for Laurel to go over the top. Colin Bartley, a 64-yard touchdown, and then the brave call as it's 21-12. Rochester's going to receive the second half kickoff if you take it to halftime, but instead Laurel goes for the surprise onside kick, recovered by Braden Lewis, to get one last offensive drive before the half ends. Still 2 timeouts left, 42 seconds remaining. Ball at Rochester's 33.
And remember, Booker can kick from about 40 yards.
Jet sweep, play action. Tinsman dropping back. Man in his face. He's going to get dragged down from behind for the huge sack. That's going to be a loss of 10. Timeout Laurel.
Yeah, should have threw it away, but Mason Lucci, in to grab him by the ankles and drop him down. Tinsman was outside the pocket. You need to get rid of that ball if you can, but he decided to try to run away. Could not. Good job by Lucci. Get the sack.
Well, and because the first step was to the left, I think he was concerned, did he get outside of the pocket? He just barely had before he was knocked down to the turf from behind. So there is the second timeout called by Laurel with 35 seconds left, and now you're just trying to get back into a manageable range on this next play. It's second down and 20.
Yeah, and if you don't, you want to get down to at least the 25-yard line just to give Buchter a chance. We've seen Buchter's got a pretty strong leg. The 5'8", 175-pound senior, I think he could probably go 40 to 45 probably would probably be the length.
Yeah, I think that's probably the max you want to try to let him go is about 40. I mean, he's got a leg. It's definitely not Noah Wirt's leg from a few years ago, but he's definitely got some power, and he actually holds the record with Noah Wirtz for most points in a game.
I like that name drop there.
Swing pass on 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 20. Smith breaks it to the outside, trying to get to the boundary, and he does. Late flag coming in from the secondary. This one might be coming back for a hold on the midst of that little swing pass. Currently, it's a gain of 6.
Yeah, I think they might get Lucas Davis on a hold.
Flag down at the 40.
Yeah, Lucas Davis was blocking in that area. It looked like he had a handful of shoulder pad.
And Laurel is marching backwards, and there is the hold.
Holding's the call against the Spartans. That ball's going to go.
So give a 3-yard completion officially to Landon Smith.
Nose of the football on the midfield.
And then a 10-yard holding call to push the Spartans back to midfield. And they're going to confirm, make sure, because I think this clock is going to start as soon as they snap it.
Yeah, it should.
Clock is starting now. It's ready to play, and the Spartans don't even have a play call in. 24, 23, clock's running.
And Landon Smith's like, hey, clock's, come on.
15 seconds as they finally get the snap off. Tinsman drops back, looks, has a man in his face. He's rolling out to his right, and this time he will just throw it into the bench with 11 seconds remaining.
And made it to the line of scrimmage, fortunately, for Tinsman.
Ball's at the 50-yard line. Spartans need to get to the 23 for a first down. I think right now you're just trying to get a few yards, call a timeout, and give a chance for a Hail Mary at this point.
You got to get to at least the 30, but at least the 25, I say.
For a field goal, yes.
Yeah, just for a field goal. You said you have that timeout. That's the good thing.
3rd down and 27. Tinsman throw over the middle. It's going to be intercepted at the 30-yard line. Look out. Going down the far sideline for Rochester and dragged down by Cooper at the 35. Flags behind the play. 1 second on the clock. It's going to come back. The interception made by Jaden Norman.
Jaden Norman, number 12, made the interception.
Saving tackle by Lucas Davis.
Yard line, multiple flags on the play.
That's a good description. Multiple flags.
Yeah, a couple blocks in the back, well away from the run back, too. I mean, it really wasn't necessary at that point. But with 1 second left, so Laurel, the surprise onside kick, got the ball back, had a chance, had gotten down to about the 30-yard line. But penalties, sacks, miscues, Spartans unable to capitalize at the end of the first half. It's going to be a 21-12 score when the teams head to the locker room, but we need to march off some penalties first against the Rams.
Yeah, the interception, as you said, should count.
But the change in possession.
Excuse me, the interception should count.
Oh, yes.
I think we have a sideline warning also on Laurel.
The Rams.
On top of that.
1 second remaining in the first half. That'll be the Rams football.
So they'll march it off 10 yards from the 41-yard line. They'll take their time and do that. Reminder, we'll be sending it to our Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show. We'll bring it back for the marching bands. Don't you go anywhere as you're watching at lcsportsnet.com.
Ball's placed at the Rams 40.
Rams at the 49-yard line. You got a backup quarterback, Jaden Norman, who just made the interception on defense.
If you take a chance, you throw it up to Mullins.
I mean, absolutely. Or do you just take the knee and say, we're getting the second half kickoff, let's forget about it?
I take the knee.
And they do. Team rush for a loss of 1, and that's the end of your first half. A good one, 21-12. Rochester leading Laurel. We'll send it to the Trib Live studio, and then we'll bring back for the halftime performances of the Spartans and Rams marching bands. 21-12, Rochester leads at lcsportsnet.com.
Much anticipated Week 5 edition of the halftime show here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. No matter how you slice it, if you want to include Week 0, if you don't want to include Week 0, as far as the regular season, Week 5 is indeed the midway point of the regular season. So, of course, it has become a tradition that, regular co-host Chris Harlan, well, we sort of, let him stray away, even though it says Chris Harlan there for those watching on video. That's not the case. It's his uncle, Dr. Harlan, who joins us now, professor of Gardner-Omics around the WPIAL, and he's got gets together at the midway point, also gets together at the end of the season to hand out grades throughout the WPIAL. Dr. Harlan, welcome.
I've got the grade book here. We're going to check out grades at the midterm spot.
All right. Are you grading with a curve or no?
A little bit, but
all right.
They still got to make the grade. You got to make the grade. First in the grade book, let's look at history class. 2 classes right here. 2 schools have an A in history right now. Hempfield and Mapletown both have an A in history. Both are off to historic 5-0 starts. I mean, it's been decades since either of them has won the first 5 games of the season. Hempfield hasn't been 5-0 since 1971. Mapletown hasn't been 5-0 since 1968. To put that in perspective, Coach, Maple's coach George Message back was an older boy who lived next door to him, he said. So amazing 5-0 for Hempfield, Mapletown. Both right now have an A in history. Some high schools have astronomy classes. Our HSSN high school does, but really you only have 2 options here. You can either study Moon or you can study Mars. This year's course is on the red planet, and Mars gets a B right now in astronomy. Look at what they came into this year: a new coach, new quarterback, new offense and defensive schemes, and yet here Mars is 4-1 at the midway point, and doing pretty good. I mean, really, the only thing keeping them from an A right now was a 1-point loss to Blackhawk, I think it was earlier in the year. But they're right there, 4-1, and they're in good shape. So a B for Mars right now in astronomy.
Moon was an A. Moon was a scholar student last year. They're just drifting away this year.
They are. They are
drifting into the black hole.
They're in the book here, but you have to go down a little bit farther. Next in the grade book, biology. Maybe there's some future veterinarians here in our class, maybe some zoologists. But to me, when you look at it, an A for the North Allegheny Tigers, an A for the McKeesport Tigers, an A for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. It's been a good year for Big Cats. Those 3 teams, all 5-0 right now. They've showed that those 3 teams, they've definitely got claws and they've got teeth this year. And they're all at the top of the standings right now. Also a good year for Rams. Southside Rams, Highland Rams, both 5-0. But the biology classroom gets a little interesting when we get the Rams and the Big Cats in the same classroom. So we try to keep them apart and not let them hang out together. But 5-0 starts for all 5 of those schools right now. Next in the book, chemistry. Here we have a C for Central Catholic. They're a team that came into the year as a preseason favorite in 6A. But through 5 weeks, the Vikings just haven't found the right formula. I mean, when you look at what they've got some big-time talents. They've got a lot of new starters. They had some injuries. Mix that all together in a beaker, and you've got a team that was a preseason favorite, but the Vikings are coming into today still searching for their first conference win. But I've seen them play, and I think if they keep working at it, this Central Catholic team could be potent by playoff team, by playoff time. You mix the right stuff together, this could be an explosive combination.
Right now, coming out of that beaker, that fog is not a pleasant smell right now.
How about next in the book, geography? And I think when you look at this class, at the top of the class, Aliquippa and Central Valley. And you realize, you look at these two schools, if you look at a map, they're two of the closest you got in the WPIAL. There's only 6 miles apart between the two schools. Remember, both of these schools a year ago were state champions. You know, one in 3A, one in 4A. Now they're in the same conference, both.
Lace your shoes, grab your gloves, and get ready to fight. Our next selection features our drumline and the 1976 hit, Gonna Fly Now from Rocky. Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist ya? We close tonight's show by recalling the 1975 ABBA hit that was featured in the 2008 movie Mamma Mia. Rochester High School Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce the 2022 Laurel Spartan Marching Band. Tonight, we bring the noise with a musical selection that will sure to get you grooving. Our drum majors are Amber Medved and Riley Miller. Drum majors, are you ready? We open the performance with the 1970 Ides of March song, Vehicle. This tune features a trumpet solo by section leader Anna McCosby. Enjoy the ride. Next, our SportsNet dance line, led by co-captains Alexander Herr and Gianna Salvia, is featured in the Bruno Mars hit song, Uptown Funk. Striker Color Guard, led by Captain Claire McCloskey, who will also be performing a routine on rifle. The Wild Cherry Classic, Play That Funky Music, is sure to get your toes tapping. Number is Rubber Band Man, made famous by the Spinners. This song features a trombone solo by our very own Rubber Band Man, Mitchell Badger, the low brass section leader. Prepare yourself. The marching band is under the direction of Mr. Scott Boyer. The assistant band director and drumline instructor is Mr. Josh Johnson. Assistant drumline instructor is Mr. Ian Hurr. Our head auxiliary coach and color guard instructor is Mrs. Kristen Green.
Big shout out to the Rochester Ram and Laurel Spartan marching bands. Samer Medved and Riley Miller, the two drum majors, bringing a noise for the Laurel Spartans. And one of the 9 bands we got to see on Wednesday, Lee. A nice fun time again at the Lawrence County Band Festival this past week that we were able to put on the show as well at lcsportsnet.com.
Yeah, it was a fun night over there with all the 8 high school bands and the Westminster College Band. A great night over there. Well attended also. Had great weather. and I was hopefully be able to do that again next year.
That's the game plan, and we'll make that happen hopefully for sure again, and we're hoping to see some changes here on the Laurel side. Try to get back into the swing of things as they trail 21-12 here at the halftime break. Limon trying to scroll through Twitter for some other halftime scores in the area, but what we do, it is the tradition with the Trib Live High School Sports Network. You heard part of their halftime show earlier with the midterm grades, and we got some other midterm grades I think we're going to share here, Lee. So tell me your thoughts on these.
I've not heard these yet.
We got 2 grades for each and every school out there in the county. We're going to start with Elwood City. In modern history, Elwood City gets an F. Why is that?
Modern history. Oh boy, you're putting me on the spot, aren't you?
I am. Well, I'll give you the little hint on some of these earlier ones. Modern history is an F because they finally won a game. They hadn't won a game in nearly 4 years.
Okay.
So they are changing history quite literally. They also get an F in home economics because they have not had a home game this year. They've all been on the road while the Helling Stadium turf is getting installed.
I was going to say everybody gets an F compared to Miss Lori Heights cooking.
Oh, that's very true, too.
Yes.
Well, that's why Laurel gets an A double plus in home economics.
Okay.
They also get an A in combinatorics, just because they have some of the best numbers in the county. The art of counting, they have the highest scoring average in the county.
What was that term again you used?
Combinatorics.
Yeah, okay.
There also is a note at the end of their report card here, Lee, that says that they need to stay late after class.
Because of all the overtime games.
Where's Lee Moan?
I finally got...
There we go. Neshannock. They always have to get the A+ in fashion because they're like the Oregon Ducks. They have the 4 jerseys and 5 pant combinations that they can go with. And if you took combinatorics, you would figure out that when you combine all that together, you have about 62 different ways that you can make a football uniform for the Lancers.
I can't even spell it. Forget about taking it.
The other grade, they're getting a C in health. Just because they've had, sadly, the same too many injuries the last couple of years, and the same injury over the last couple of years that has been really detrimental to their team. How about Newcastle? They get an A in debate.
For the debate on whether it's Kane or Canes.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And also because of that, they get an F in spelling.
Oh, that's bad.
Shenango, they're also going to get a C in health. Unfortunately, they lost their quarterback a couple weeks ago, and then their backup, moving to quarterback, was C.J. Miller. He was out with an injury. They're struggling for sure, but we're going to get a B in childhood development, just with all the freshmen and sophomores that they have out there having to grow up in a hurry out there on the football field.
Oh boy.
How about Union? They get a B in calculus. Calculus is the mathematics of change at the head coaching position, and they've certainly been strong so far. By the way, they're leading huge at halftime in their homecoming game tonight so far. We're going to get Union's other grade in a second. Wilmington, a D in physics. They've had some slow starts, and an object at rest tends to stay at rest. So they get a D in physics. And in family studies, for the first time, they don't get an A. They get a B. Does Lee know that one?
No, go ahead.
Head coach Brandon Fillion, for the first time, lost to his father-in-law, Sharpsville head coach, in Picarelli. So they get finally not an A in family studies. Mohawk, they have an incomplete grade because of some tardies to start the year. And then the final grade was back to Union. By default, they get an F in geography.
Well, they should get... I'll go. We'll just let that go. Well, actually, what, twice already this year?
Only once officially, but...
Well, if you count during the spring seasons, a couple of times already, that we still need to get the Google Maps or computers updated to say, yes, it's Union Newcastle and not Union Reimersburg up in near Clarion.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our midterm grades, Chris Harlan, Don Rebel, and Trib Live style.
Interesting.
We might have to make that a little bit of a tradition of our own. I know that's something that Don Rebel and company have done for years. But that was a lot of fun coming up with some of those.
I did not know where you were going with that, so. But I think I'm getting a reprimand here. Don't know what's going on here.
I haven't announced you guys yet, but when I do, I'm putting you on Saturday Night Live right here.
We're going on Saturday Night Live. I like it.
Sounds good. Hey, we apparently just passed our audition. We're ready to go. The teams also are ready to go out there on the field. Laurel will be kicking it off, going left to right. Rochester to receive with number 2 Mullins and number 4 Laurie deep to receive. A 21-12 Rochester lead as they start the second half. The ball skips over Laurie's head, and he has to pick it up right on the sideline at the 8-yard line. Makes a couple of men miss. He gets back out to the 9, and that is it. You could not have hit that with a 9-iron any better than what the kickoff man, Zane Buchter, just did.
Well, actually, that would have been my driver probably. That's going to the right, but yeah, that just died. And Laurie's like, do I let it go? Do I not? Had to pick it up. And by the way, you must have got an A from our Laurel press box here.
I'll take
on
that.
Your grade, yeah.
I will take that. Stand-up comedy. I did not know was a course offered here at Laurel, but I will take it.
So here's the big drive right now.
Yes, this was going to be huge with Laurel trailing 21-12. Antonio Laurie with 26 yards and a touchdown. Jerome Mullins with 42 yards and a pair of scores. They're both in the backfield in the T formation. New quarterback in there. Hands off to Laurie. Not much room on the left side. Maybe a yard, but that is it. Norman, the quarterback, Jaden Norman had an interception on defense. Ended up throwing for 47 yards on offense.
Yeah, Carson Allward in on the stop. The thing about Rochester, I want to bring it up in the first half too, James, is normally Rochester, quarterback, they don't throw a lot of passes. I mean, they're just sort of running that offense. Don't have to throw the ball too often. So even though you don't want to lose your starting quarterback, but if you do, it's not that big of a deal because of the style of offense that they run.
Gain of 1 for Laurie on the first carry, and time of possession just shy of 14 minutes for Rochester, just over 10 minutes for Laurel. Out of the wide receiver position, a pitch back to Mullins as he went jet sweep motion. He'll get out to the 12-yard line for a gain of 2. One of the first times that Laurel's really contained Mullins on that outside run.
Allward again, the 5'9", 185-pound lineman getting it done.
Talk about getting it done. How about the hot sausage sandwiches that we just devoured down there?
Jeez. Yeah, I had 2. The hot sausages and the pepperoni rolls and whatever else they had down there.
There was a penalty against Rochester for a block in the back, but it has been declined. It would have only been a half the distance. So instead of 2nd and 14, they're going to keep it at 3rd down and 7 with the ball at the 12-yard line for Rochester. So a huge 3rd down to start this, and they were 4 of 7 on 3rd down was Rochester in the first half, 2 of 2 on 4th downs.
Yeah, we could give Laurie Heist the play of the game for the cooking, but...
Oh, always.
Yeah.
I think we will. The last game of the year, I think we're going to get her a shirt.
There you go. I like it. 2
receivers to the short side of the field on the right. I formation will hand it off to Laurie up the middle, and he is stuffed, but bounces outside. Somehow kept his feet. He's going to fight forward, but he will be short of the yard to gain, turning something out of nothing. But the Laurel defense able to hold firm on the first possession of the second half, and it looks like we'll force a 3 and out.
Can I mention the name again for the 3rd time in a row?
Yes.
Carson Allward again is the one that just blew up that play. Laurie made something out of nothing, but Allward again, great start for him in the Laurel defense. Laurel holds. Remember the last time, the one and only time they punted, DiMuccio was in the backfield.
Yeah, they overran the punter. Late man having to come in for Rochester. Still 10 seconds on the play clock. That man's going to be the personal protector in big number 50, Adam Schur. Snap is back, and the punt is booted away by Patrick Babel. Good one caught at midfield by Landon Smith with a fair catch, and he's upset with himself because he had some room down the near sideline. But nonetheless, it'll be great possession, or great field position, I should say, for the Spartans as they get ready to start the second half. Chase Tinsman also threw 6 passes in the first half, completed 2 of them. The big one, a 64-yarder to Colin Bartley for a touchdown. Landon Smith, 76 yards and a tutty on offense in the first half as well.
Yeah, sure. We haven't called him too much. He was an all-conference linebacker last year. Must be fighting some injuries. Came in late there, but they haven't needed him.
So shotgun formation. Laurel down by 9 early second half, starting right at midfield. Defense did the job on the first possession of quarter number 3. High snap. Good job to handle by Tinsman. Toss to the left. Trying to get to the outside is Smith. Does get the corner. The 45 and dragged out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Good job to hold the block on the edge by Cooper and company for a gain of 7.
Yeah, I thought Mr. Davis was going to get a call for a block in the back there. Rochester was looking for it, did not get the call.
Mark it down at the 43-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of 8 on first down. Second down and 2 coming up. Jet sweep action. Bartley will get a carry. Coming to the near sideline, tries to get to the edge. He does, inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. That'll be a first down. Second carry of the game for Colin Bartley, gain of 4.
Rochester, good job stringing it out, but Bartley just enough to get that corner, get a few yards out of it, and get the first down. So Rochester, Laurel, and good way to start good way to start the half. Get the 3 and out, and then get two plays, get the first down, start driving. They trail by 9 here early in the second half.
That's Lee Moan. I'm James Dotson. Thanks to our friends at Laurel High School. Students running the show tonight. Big hole to middle for Smith on first down. He gets inside the 30, and he's got another first down on back-to-back carries. Mark it down at the 25, a gain of 13.
Oh, Aiden Collins getting it done there. The kick-out block right up the middle.
Jaden Norman ended up with the tackle.
We have a Ken Locke sighting in the press box.
Well, that's better than the Henry sighting.
First and 10, Spartans ball is on the.
But anyways.
They mark it at the 25-yard line. Trips to the left of the formation in the gun. Rolling out to the right, though, is Tinsman. It's going to be a design run the whole way. Tries to get to the corner and can't do so because Dom Guido again in the backfield making the play. He's been great from that cornerback position
Yeah, he
tonight.
sure has. We do love Henry, by the way. Just always like to give him a hard time. But yeah, Guido coming up, making that tackle. I'd like to see if maybe they try to get Haney involved somehow, some way this second half.
Yeah, Haney and Davis, 2 receivers, held without a catch in that first half. 1 catch for Smith out of the backfield and 1 catch from the slot receiver Bartley going up the seam. Bartley will come in motion. Rolling out with him is Tinsman. He's not going to fire towards the corner, looking for Lucas Davis, and it's going to be out of everybody's reach towards the pylon. An incomplete pass, tight coverage yet again there in the secondary.
Yeah, but it's tough though. He's rolling left and trying to throw right. And that's a tough throw, and running for his life also. So he was fortunate to get it out. Ball came out short, but fortunate not intercepted. So third down though.
Yeah, Laurel has done a good job of being ahead of the sticks for the most part, but not so right now. 3rd and 13. And with that, it's why it's been difficult because they've been running the ball pretty well for the most part, but the passing hasn't been there mainly because they haven't had a lot of time, have they, Lee?
No, they have not. That defensive line for Rochester has been doing a nice job on the passing.
Smith goes in motion out of the backfield, going to fake to him, and pressure, ball loose as he's hit from behind. Guido got the sack, ball still loose as it bounces away from Smith. DiMuccio is going to come all the way back and fall on it, but all the way back at the Laurel 41-yard line.
Yeah, actually, it was Aiden Collins who came back to get that ball, but still, that's a 31-yard loss on the play. Good job by Guido. He came in. We just mentioned his name earlier, James. Guido came in, stripped that ball loose, and then let the follies begin.
That's going to be 4th down, and from here to Harlansburg.
4th down in Harlansburg, as they just announced. Officially, it would be
this is
43, 4th down and 43 to go. And it's going to be picked up and just basically falling on the punt right at the first down marker. So we'll call it a 43-yard punt. A flag right at the line of scrimmage, though, in the middle of the Spartan helmet.
Yeah, it looks like an illegal substitution or something in that line. It couldn't be that. They pointed towards Laurel. It looked like an illegal substitution by Rochester. I decline it because.
Well, I think they're going to be given the option to put it at the end of the kick, which would be even nicer.
They do, yeah.
So right now the ball's at the 17-yard line, which is incredible to make a 41-yard punt from Tinsman. Score remains 21-12 as they discuss the penalty here.
It's a hold, okay.
Against Rochester. So with 7:48 remaining
the call is a hold
in the third quarter.
So it'll be a half the distance. So Laurel's going to have to come up big again. They did it the first time, and Rochester started from their own 9-yard line and went 3 and out.
And this time they'll be at their own 8-yard line. And we'll give you a chance to remind you that coming up after the game, we will announce our LCAP player of the game. So many ways LCAP improving the quality of life in Lawrence County. One of the things they have, the lead hazard control grant. Families with children under the age of 6 can receive a home inspection to reduce the risk of lead-based paint poisoning. Check it all out at lcap.org. Handoff to Mullins, out of the T formation, out of the wishbone, breaks a tackle in the backfield, fights forward, maybe gets out past the 10 to the 11, called to 12 even, for a nice gain of 4 yards on first down.
Yeah, Carter Haney not getting it done offensively here tonight, but defensively he made that play in the backfield. Blew up that play.
It is impressive how Coach Matt Sook, though, is able to balance the carries. Usually it was between Antonio Laurie and the quarterback coming into the game in Parker Lyons, who, again, if you're just joining us, out for the year with a knee injury at the end of the Shenango game last week. But right now it's 11 carries each for Laurie and Mullins, and it's going to be Antonio getting the carry. Antonio Laurie up the middle on a quick hitter out to the 15-yard line. It'll be third down and manageable. Third down and 3 or 4 to go.
Yeah, Carter Haney, that last play, is also part of the long jump on the track team.
Aiden Collins on the tackle for the Spartans.
Yeah, we mentioned Parker Lyons. We're talking during halftime. You brought up he's going to be getting a baseball scholarship to Westminster. That's great.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing. That he's going to be going to Westminster to play ball. So at least, he'll likely miss his senior season with the Rams, but he's ready to put on the blue of the Titans after this season. Third down and upended right at the line of scrimmage is the ball carrier. I believe that was Amari Curry.
No, that's actually Laurie. Yeah, it was Laurie again. I thought it was Curry at first too, but it was Laurie. They faked the inside handoff to Curry and then gave it back to Laurie. So it's going to bring out the punt team. So 6 plays. Did not get either first down here for Rochester. 3 and out twice.
Now Laurel's got to be able to capitalize, though. They had good field position at midfield. Got almost to the red zone before a sack and a fumble pushed them way back.
Demetrius has been in the backfield twice.
Let's see if they rush the punter again. It's actually going to be Barker who gets the block. Barker coming off the right end, blocks the punt, and then falls on it inside the 10-yard line.
No chance for the punter. No chance whatsoever. He tried to kick it, but Barker, easy block.
And he did exactly what you're taught, right, Lee?
Yep.
Take it off of the punter's foot. He practically was handed it.
You got to get 6 in this situation. You do not want 3.
And the ball on the 6-yard line. Spartans with some momentum. Can they punch it in? Laban Barker had the big play in overtime defensively last week. This time it's special teams, giving the short field to the Spartans. Smith, handoff up the middle, big hole into the end zone. Smith for 6, his second score for the double deuce. And Laurel has cut it down to a 3-point lead.
Well, what a start here for the second half of the Laurel Spartans. 2 3 and outs by Rochester. Then now the block punt for the Spartans, and they will go for 1 here in this situation. Thought maybe they might go for 2, but Buchter is on to get the extra point, but they made that look easy. Smith untouched into the end zone.
Yeah, he had a convoy blocking in front of him. His second rushing touchdown puts him over 100 yards on the night, and the kick from Buchter is good. 21-19 your score here at Spartan Stadium. Back in a moment. Spartans still trailing, but they got the momentum here at lcsportsnet.com. The Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
21, the Laurel Spartans, and 19. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased this evening to have Lawrence County SportsNet here. These would be our friends. That's James.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
Are you looking to make a difference? Well, here is your opportunity. Lawrence County Child and Youth Services is looking for compassionate foster parents now. If you are over the age of 21, in good health, and wanting to help a child in need, we're in need of you. Receive free training and compensation by becoming a foster parent. Call 724-658-2558 and let Bill, Brooklyn, and Heather get you started. Make a difference and become a foster parent today.
21-19 your score here at Laurel High School. The blocked punt by Laban Barker. Landon Smith puts it in the end zone for the second time tonight, and it's down to a 2-point lead.
And Buchter with the Cunningham Funeral Home extra point. The same exact kick.
And this one, though, wisely, Lori's going to let it bounce out of bounds for the illegal procedure, and it thinks that Rochester will take the ball right at the 35-yard line.
And it's interesting, Rochester interesting out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by the Crane Room. Grab a seat in the bar, the dining room, the loft outside in the patio. There's plenty of room at the Crane Room. Beaver Falls leading Riverside 28-14.
That's a good Riverside team. That is a really good Riverside team that is flying under the radar just a little bit. They only had one win a year ago, Lee, but I'll tell you what, seeing them in person, Robbie Janis is a heck of a running back.
Yeah, he is. And also Sharpsville leading Sharon 28-21 early in the third quarter in District 10.
Good ball game there. Neshannock winning big, Union winning big in their games. Play action rolling out to his right is the quarterback Norman. He's going to get dragged down from behind, and maybe a good thing because somebody was coming up from the secondary, and that was Carter Haney, who was ready to, well, can you say jacked up?
Oh, my gosh. It's so fortunate that he missed him because Carter Haney was flying 150 mile an hour.
So it'll go down officially as a 1-yard sack for the Spartans. Second down and 11. We're midway through the third quarter. Laurel struck first, led 6-0. 3 straight Rochester touchdowns made it 21-6. But now Laurel responded with a touchdown late in the second quarter, and now midway through the third. From the shotgun, handoff up the middle, trying to fight through is the sophomore Antonio Laurie. He's going to get out close to the 40-yard line for a pickup of 5 yards. It'll be third down and 7 to go.
Yeah, Union now leads Springdale 48-0 at the end of the third quarter.
And last week, Springdale so low on numbers, they actually ran 6-minute quarters in the second half.
Third down 7.
Yeah, Professor Briggs reporting that Hickory and Slippery Rock just lost the score.
Shutout now gone. It's 48-7 in that Union game. Snap back on 3rd and 7, rolling out is the quarterback Norman. Now steps up in the pocket, flag in the backfield, and he's going to fight forward. It's currently going to be a sack of 2 yards, 4th down coming.
Altward in the backfield again. Slow to get up.
I think it's the penalty against Rochester. So if so, Laurel is going to force another 3-and-out. 3 3-and-outs to begin this second half for the Rams.
Should be declined. By the way, the Crane Room's out-of-town scoreboard. Farrell leading Wilmington 24-0 Unusual to see the Wilmington Hounds.
That Farrell team almost has everybody back from last year's state semifinals
Wilmington team. Not,
there you want to talk about the youth of Shenango. We could have given Wilmington a childhood development grade as well for the number of underclassmen they have. I think they only have like 4 or 5 seniors on their entire roster. Penalty was declined, so we're going to punt it away again. Already one blocked and another one close to being blocked. This time more of a return setup and a bad punt end over end, but it takes a huge Rochester bounce inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
Ain't a bad punt. That's a 43-yard punt.
Now about 25 of it went on the bounce.
Doesn't matter what it looks like in the scorebook. It's a 43-yard punt with no return.
So they'll mark it right at the 30-yard line with 4:06 remaining. Spartans will regain possession. Landon Smith, 103 yards on 14 carries and a pair of touchdowns. The reigning Newcastle News Player of the Week. Our reigning LCAP Player of the Game. He had the heroics in the second half last week against Union. He'll get the handoff here for his 15 carry. Another big hole up the middle, and if not for the safety coming up and making the tackle in Jaden Norman, he could have been taking that one 70 yards to the house.
Yeah, Norman saving tackle by the ankles, and Laurel right back up to the line.
Playing fine football.
I love it. Showing some tempo.
Snap it quick.
Well, Rochester wasn't quite set up.
They thought they had too many men on. They don't.
So they bring the player back on. They did have too many men for a conversion earlier. That's actually the difference in the game right now, as Smith gets the handoff and he'll get the first down. Needed 2, gains 3 out to the 41-yard line.
And that will be that first down, as you said. Yeah, I didn't think about that being the difference in the game, that 2-point conversion.
But it truly is.
Yeah.
It's 21-19, down to 3:30 remaining in the third quarter.
And that was right after a penalty, too.
Yeah, it was a conversion from the 7. You're right. 3:15 now remaining in the third. Laurel trailing by 2. They got the ball. Play action. Tinsman looking down the field. Has a man open again down the seam. It's Bartley. Shakes a tackler at the 35. Inside the 30 to the 20. Dragged down from behind at the 14-yard line.
Saving tackle there by Carter Mason, but just a quick hitter. Bartley finding himself open. They're paying so much attention to Haney. Bartley, leaving Bartley open, finding that little seam, breaks a tackle, gain another 15 yards inside the red zone for the Laurel Spartans.
Bartley now over 100 yards. He had a 64-yard touchdown earlier. That one goes for 46 yards. Bartley's going to step out, get a breather.
You can visit the redzonesports.com. Check them out.
New man in motion from the slot, fake to him, hand off to Smith up the middle. Not much room, but falls forward inside the 10-yard line on first down for a 3-yard pickup.
Good play there by Michael Norman to bring him down. 5'10", 220.
Laurel's definitely seeing something in the film on that slot, because it has just opened up wide going down the seam a couple of times now tonight for Tinsman. Smith will get another carry on second down. He's going to go untouched right down Broadway into the end zone. Laurel back in the lead after touchdown number 3 for Landon Smith.
All started with that onside kick, Mr. Dawson, too.
Even though they didn't score on that drive, you're right.
All that momentum carrying it in. They did not score, but boy, got the momentum to start that second half. Now Mr. Buchter, actually they're going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, try to make it a 6-point game. Currently a 25-21 score line with 2:23 remaining. In the third quarter, Laurel back on top. Bartley from the slot. He'll get the handoff going right to left. Going to try to get to the corner. Now cuts up the field. Gets in past the goal line for the conversion. 27-21. Spartans back ahead of Rochester. Don't go anywhere. We got a dandy here on the Lawrence County SportsNet powered by LCAP. It's your high school game of the week on News Radio 1200 WKSD.
Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
When you're looking for quality concrete services, contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
All Laurel in the second half so far, Lee, a 27-21 advantage.
Yeah, 21 straight points here for the Laurel Spartans. Great start to the second half. Rochester does not have a first down yet here in this second half. Laurel putting up 2 touchdowns. All the momentum. You would think they're going to be kicking this ball to the right side again by Buchter, and he sure does. A little pooch kick.
Just over the top, takes a bounce up the 30-yard line. It'll have to be taken by Laurie at the 25. He gets out past the 30, out to the 33. Good job to not really give Rochester a chance to set up the return, but they will get possession at the 33. Their 4th possession of the second half. It's been 3 and outs so far for the Rams.
They need to find some type of spark here. All the momentum has shifted to the green and white. Well, we're going to have a hard time picking a player of the game and a play of the game tonight. Maley Chiropractic play of the game and an LCAP player of the game. Plenty of game left, too.
Yes, lots of game left. We have a feeling we may not have seen the decisive Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Though we have a funny story about our play of the game from Wednesday we're going to have to discuss here in a moment. Mullins comes in motion from the slot. They're going to fake the pitch to him. Handoff to the only man in the backfield. That was Antonio Laurie. There was a hole for a minute, and it was closing up in a hurry. 2-yard gain for Antonio Laurie.
Yeah, he was fortunate to hang on the ball. That almost fell out of his hands.
On Wednesday at the Band Festival, Lee, we had deja vu. It's because we had another Wilmington player running onto the field right before it was time to go because they were coming from another game. We joked it could have been our Maley Chiropractic play of the game, but we had done that already, so we did something different. And a good thing we did, because that was actually Dr. Mitch Maley's daughter, who was the trumpet player sprinting onto the field after the Hounds volleyball team had won a game earlier in the night.
Yeah, we didn't want to show any favoritism.
Truth be told, we didn't know at that point.
Right.
Big hit right up the middle. Laurie not going anywhere. And that's because Brady Cooper laying down the boom. Good to see him back out there. Missed a series and a half early on in the second quarter. Big hit on that one to limit just to a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, the arm's feeling a little bit better, I think. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Rochester does not get this. They go for it on 4th down. You saw it earlier in the game.
They need some sort of momentum here.
Yeah. 3rd
down, called either a long 5 or a short 6. We're down to a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Laurel back in the lead now, 27-21.
Play clock down to 5.
Still getting in formation at the top of the screen is Dom Guido. They do get the snap off. Rolling out is the quarterback trying to set up the screen, and big blockers in front for Laurie. Look out. Across midfield with the first down, but he's dragged down at the 48-yard line by Colin Bartley. Well set up on that screen pass. Second catch of the year for Laurie.
Yeah, Adam Schur downfield doing a nice job, too. Holding up a good block there to spring him a little bit further. So that's a big first down for the
yards on 3rd and 5. Great play call and good execution, too, again, with a backup quarterback in there throwing for the first time this year.
Yeah, like you said, he's at least he had all week to practice, which is a good thing.
Jaden Norman, the junior, been playing wide receiver, now has to step into the quarterback role.
You're not listed as a quarterback on the roster.
You're right. 3 on the play clock, and they're not going to get this play off. Did they get a timeout call? I don't think they did.
No.
So the flag will come from the secondary for delay of game. Just the 5th penalty call against the Rams. 5 on the other side as well.
Delay of game, that's 5 yards.
Against Laurel.
Back inside Ram territory at the 46-yard line.
So moves the ball back into Rochester territory, mark it at the 46.
You can call Penn Ohio Bottled Water for your home or business bottled water delivery, ranging from 16.9-ounce bottled waters to 5-gallon. Let's do the lifting and bring refreshing water to your door. That's the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company.
The teams are going to go get their own water because we've hit the end of the 3rd quarter with Laurel leading Rochester 27-21. Don't go anywhere. It's the game of the week here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
The Rochester Rams own the football.
Joseph's Marketplace is Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop. Fresh meats and produce, full-line deli, homemade foods, and much more. Joseph's Marketplace has hot foods prepared every day. They also have Newcastle favorites like grape leaves, hummus, and wedding soup available daily. Follow Joseph's Marketplace on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates or stop in to see what's cooking each day. Come hang out at the brand new cafe and bakery, full of great coffee, drinks, sandwiches, snacks, sweets, and free Wi-Fi. In a rush? Go to josephsnc.com and place your cafe order online. Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915.
Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
We thank all of those who have advertised with Lawrence County SportsNet this year. Throw out into the flat on 1st down, and that's going to say it was a backwards pass fallen on by Mullins. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, again, our out-of-town scoreboard sponsored by the Craner of another interesting score, Mr. Dawson. Central Catholic leading Cannon McMillan in 6A 20-17.
A good one up there for Coach James Franklin to attend before his Nittany Lions take on Northwestern tomorrow. Shout out to our Tweety bird out there, Miss Katie Walzer, running the Twitterverse from Happy Valley.
That saves us a lot of aggravation. She's doing a great job.
2nd and 17. Norman dropping back. He's going to fire down the middle of the field. Jump ball is going to be intercepted. It falls through the hands of the receiver and into Bartley's hands with the pick. He's at the 40, and he'll wisely just step out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And there's a flag in the backfield, but it will be declined. It was holding against Rochester. It's another big Medore Bonner Law chains in possession as possession goes back over to the Spartans.
Yeah, I think we got a Rochester Ram down. Looks like a cramp for the Rochester Ram, but boy, that ball just went a little bit too far through in the double coverage. He said Bartley was just playing safety, went right into his hands, made the nice return. Smart play to get out of bounds also, not take any chance of any turnovers or anything like that, get out of bounds, and Laurel will take over.
A local firm with deep ties in the community and flexible appointment hours at Medore Bonner Law. They have a team of experienced lawyers and staff always ready to help. Visit Medore Bonner Law, MEDUREBONNERLAW.com, and see how they can serve you.
Actually, I don't think that's a cramp. Getting up here, number 54 for Rochester, that's Michael Norman. He might have pulled the hammy a little bit.
Yeah, he's gingerly going to make his way with some assistance now to come off the field. He's got a long way to walk, too.
Yeah, he was holding the back of his leg. He was trying to stretch that out. So
Michael Norman, one of the linebackers on this Rams defense as well. So you get a new body in there defensively. Looks like it's going to be number 23, Thomas Henry.
Yeah, the freshman. Boy, we've been saying sophomore, freshman.
You're right. But right now, what's most important is we're saying Laurel football with a Laurel lead, 27-21, 11:03 remaining in the fourth quarter. Barker in at the slot, fake to him. Ball's loose as it's knocked away from Smith, and just like that, the Medore Bonner Law turnover giveth, and the Medore Bonner Law taketh away.
And we just talked about the freshman coming in the game. He's the one that makes the play.
No way.
Yep, Thomas Henry right on the spot.
Henry gets the fumble recovery. Wow.
Right at the right place, right time. How about that for the freshman? More importantly for Rochester, they take over at the Laurel Spartan 44-yard line.
Now, it's time for the Laurel defense to step up again.
This game has had a little bit of everything.
Mullins will get the pitch coming from motion. He's going from right to left, makes a man miss, breaks.
Boy, when he makes his decision to go upfield, I mean, that is such a quick burst. Finds the hole and just look out.
11 carries for 55 yards. Just to put that in perspective, he had 16 carries all year long, getting a bit more of a heavy workload in the running game tonight. He and Laurie have basically split the duties. 16 carries for Laurie, 13 for Duke Mullins.
Boy, Laurie, the only running back right now.
Yeah, single back set. They're going to pitch it to the short side. Laurie makes one man miss, but then he's gang tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
He's short, no way.
No gain. Clock will keep on running. Laurie and Mullins splitting 100 yards right now between them.
Boy, Aiden Collins just annihilated Laurie at the end of that play.
We've been calling his name a lot defensively.
Aiden Collins is having a nice night also.
Leads the team with 9 tackles per game, and you can see exactly why. Third down, 1 to go. Ball's at about the 35-yard line. You need to get just inside the 34, do the Rams, to get a first down. They currently trail by 6 with 9:40 remaining.
Definitely 4-down territory.
And they're going to go tight formation, wishbone, with Mullins, Laurie in the backfield, as well as Curry. It's going to be Curry, the big man, with the quick hitter up the middle. And it's going to depend on the spot.
He should have it. Yeah, he got it.
Now, we have the official on the near sideline signaling 4th down.
One on the far line gives him the 34-yard line.
And they're going to stop the clock, and there is the official signal for the first down.
Have we had a measurement all year? I've not thought of a measurement all year long in my games.
How can you not think about the 2-minute measurement that this Laurel team had to go through?
That's right, the 2-minute measurement. That's right.
In that crazy fourth quarter
I forgot about
against
that.
Neshannock.
How could I forget about that?
Don't ask me. You're the one who asked it. In the shotgun is Norman. He's going to send Haskins in motion from left to right. He drops back to Norman, steps up, throws it down the far sideline, one-on-one coverage, and tiptoeing the sideline, but running out of real estate is Duke Mullins.
Yeah, Bartley right there with him, but was able to angle him out of bounds. I forgot about that measurement where they tried to bring the credit card out and they couldn't even tell then whether it was a first down. One of the stranger plays we've had this year.
I'll tell you what, we have seen plenty of them. We had this Laurel team has been part of a couple of them. They had a couple last week against Union. One looked like the quarterback sneak was going to be for the win. Looked like he may have broken the plane, then the ball was fumbled. Before that, a punt that was deemed muffed, even though it looked like Laurel had touched it first. 2nd and 10, handoff to Laurie. A couple blockers in front of him, spins out of a tackle, tripped up inside the 30-yard line near the first down. Mark it at the 29, so they're actually going to say he's knee touched a few yards short. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 4 to go.
Actually, they're giving him the 28-yard line, yep.
Let's put that ball on the 28-yard line. It's about 3rd down and 4.
Let's see what they have dialed up here. Plenty of time left, 8:24.
3 timeouts remaining for both squads as well. Call this 3rd down and a long 3 or a short 4. Need to get inside the 25 for a first down for Rachi. Norman is under center. Mullins will get the handoff. Almost lost the handoff and kind of messed up with the timing of the play. He's stuffed right at the line by Gangrene.
Yeah, Carter Haney in that backfield again. He's been doing that all night long, too. So a big 4th down coming up for the Rams.
The offense will stay out on the field.
Well, you knew that was coming. Well, we're waiting to do the chassis toss all night long, and
I haven't heard a number, have we?
Yeah, we haven't had a number come up into the press box yet, so that's all right.
We'll see what they toss out here on the field on 4th down and 3. Mullins in the gun. He's going to pitch it left to Laurie. Toss a little bit behind him, and it slowed him down enough. The Spartan defense holds strong.
Laban Barker in the backfield to blow that play up.
Collins also in there too, Lee.
Yeah, Barker blew it up, but you said that right off the bat that the pitch was just a little bit behind and caused a little bit the slow flow of that play. Barker was able to get in, blow it up, and Collins to finish it up. So Rochester turns the ball over. Medore Bonner Law turnover.
Turnover on downs. Change of possession. Make sure you protect your possessions by visiting MedoreBonnerLaw.com and find out how their dedicated lawyers with deep ties in the community can serve you. So ball to 28-yard line. Smith with a handoff and a big hole up the middle. Makes a man miss in the secondary. He's at midfield. He's at the 45 and dragged down by the last man standing.
Yeah,
they're going to call a flag at the end for taunting against Smith.
Yep.
It's currently a 33-yard carry, but it's going to take 15 yards back for unsportsmanlike conduct afterwards against Smith.
And I have to agree with the call, too, because Landon Smith got up and just basically threw the ball as an NFL player does.
Yeah, first down.
Yeah, and threw it towards the player, unintentionally throwing it towards him, but it went towards the player, and that's what's going to get the taunt call. But you still get the first down for the Laurel Spartans, which is the good thing.
31-yard carry.
Yeah, there's no... And I understand you're excited and all that, but you cannot do that in this situation with a 6-point lead.
15-yard flag against the...
So instead of at the 41-yard line, it'll move back to the Spartans' 44, but it'll be first down. And, I mean, at least, you Laurel, you've moved the chains. Hey, you just got to go do it again.
Yeah, and for Smith's purpose, the yards count.
20 carries, 158 yards, and a trio of touchdowns.
I hate saying that, but...
It is true, though.
Yeah.
Senior is having another banner day. Now over 700 yards on the season. 11 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown. He's got a punt return touchdown as well.
That's why I like high school football so much. You can't do that taunting stuff as you see everywhere else.
Tinsman takes the high snap. He's going to take a designed run on the right side. Lowers his shoulder at the 45-yard line. Is dragged out of bounds after a short gain, maybe a gain of 1 or 2. But here's the thing to kind of look at, too, Lee, is the fact Rochester, they haven't shown that they can score in a quick hurry.
No, they cannot.
But right there, you get out of bounds, the clock stops.
Yeah, their offense is built around the running game, and especially with the backup quarterback too.
So, I mean, still 6:49 remaining. Plenty of time. You don't want to be thinking about, wasting clock, but if you have a chance to stay in bounds, you should be thinking that way for Laurel.
Yeah, and everybody with both teams with all 3 timeouts also.
Bartley will come in motion, left to right, fake to him, handoff to Smith on the handoff on the middle. Another big gain across the 40, inside the 30, down inside the 20 before he's finally slung out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Another flag thrown late.
And was that another taunting call? The Spartans back at the 36-yard line. Tinsman holding his head, shaking his head. If it is, that's going to bring it all the way back to the 49-yard line of Laurel, if that's the call.
Well, it's a 37-yard carry right now.
Let's see what the call is. He's coming out. Another unsportsmanlike call on Laurel.
And again, behind the plate, no need for it. But it will go from the end of the run.
So
instead of at the 16-yard line, it'll be back at the 34. Or 33, if I can do math.
Oh, okay. Well, the flag came out at the 35.
Well, because that's where the unsportsmanlike happened, was in the middle of a big group of players there. But that is a unsportsmanlike as a dead ball foul.
The other one was a lot. Well, the other one should have been a dead ball foul.
It was, and it was from the end of the run.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, you're right.
So they move it back to the 31-yard line, from the 16 to the 31. Second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Laurel on this drive. It's cost them 30 yards. They're 31 yards away from the end zone right now, Lee.
Fortunate they got first downs on both those runs.
Smith approaching 200 yards on the ground now tonight.
Yeah, no need for it either. You got to hold your emotions. Just point to the scoreboard, if you're going to talk.
Yeah. Something must have been said there in the middle of everything. Handoff, Smith up the middle. This time the hole converging.
Yeah,
short gain, maybe of 1 on the play.
Laurie and Cooper going at it a little bit at the end of that play. But now here's where Laurel, like you said, they got to let this play clock run down. You still got 30 seconds left in the play clock. Let it run.
Yeah, go ahead and get up to the line quickly. Get the play call in.
Just stand there.
Yeah, exactly. Let them stand. Let them relax.
But they're not going to.
Yeah, they snap it with 17 on the play clock. Tinsman with the design run on the right edge. He's going to fight forward, spin out of one tackle, trying to rip the ball loose. Are the Rochester defenders unable to do so? They're going to throw another flag after the play ends.
Do not know where that one happened.
Gain of 4 for Tinsman puts him back in the positives after a couple of long sacks.
Yeah, Laurel celebrating this one.
Yeah, I think this one was extracurriculars as Rochester was trying to get the ball.
Yeah, Bartley walked away from it. I think he was involved somehow, some way in that.
So the third unsportsmanlike penalty on this drive, the first one against Rochester, will be a 12-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. Gives Laurel the first down. Spartans back in the red zone.
At about the 13-yard line, that will be.
Don't forget Spirit Sales. Big way to raise money for your organization. Just simply fill out a form. The red zone does the rest. See how your team can score big at the red zone. A score here would be absolutely gigantic for the Spartans.
Without a doubt, might put the game out of reach.
They're just going to go under center and go quarterback sneak and try to rugby scrum forward. And again, Tinsman could have waited another probably 20 seconds before snapping that ball as the clock was running. But nonetheless, he does what he needs to do and gets a 4-yard gain to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's easy for us to say up here.
That is true.
Gain appears to be about 4 yards. Second down, 6 approaching.
Laurel now with 14 first downs. Compare that to 9 on the other side for Rochester. And Rochester's going to take their first timeout of the second half with 5:07 remaining.
You can get the best rates and customer service by calling a local agent at Ponson Insurance. Ponson Insurance, love the life you live. Worry-free. At the end of this game, we will have our Maley Mailey Chiropractic Play of the Game. They're currently hiring, looking for dedicated, energetic staff to work as therapy technicians, chiropractic assistants, and front desk positions. Anyone age 16 or older can apply. No experience necessary. Just drop off a resume to their office or send it to maileychiro@gmail.com.
Thank you to our producer at the WKST studio, Marie Atwell, for all she does for us with our high school game of the week on News Radio 1200 WKST. She sends in this Crane Room score report. Union final now 48-13.
Thanks, Maria.
Appreciate all Maria does for us.
Oh, without a doubt.
And we'll be back next week on Friday. The game's still to be finalized, depending upon what some of the scores end up doing. But the game plan right now is to be at Taggart Stadium for Chartiers Valley against Newcastle for one of the games. Game number 2, still to be determined. We might be making a road trip. Well, Lee Moan won't be making the road. Well, he's making a different road trip.
I'll be 10 hours away in Tennessee is where I'll be, celebrating 35 years of wedding bliss. Beaver Falls now leads Riverside 44-14 after 3 quarters. So Beaver Falls will.
That's the scoreline we more expected. Yeah. That's a good Beaver Falls team you got to see last week.
And Slippery Rock leading Hickory 20-13.
Ooh, wow. Back to the action here with 5:07 remaining. Laurel with the 6-point advantage. Fake on the jet sweep. Handoff up the middle for Smith. Falls down near the first down marker. Actually, they're going to say his knee hit at the 6. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 3 to go.
He comes up short. Appears to be about 32.
But they're not running clock. So
again, they're going to hustle up to the line. I think they're just going to try to keep the defense in the same personnel that they were in. Now they do snap. It's a high snap and able to get a hand on it is Tinsman. Luckily, because he had guys barreling down his throat, he had to jump all the way up to get it. And then fell straight down at the 10-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 5. And we have a timeout on the field as we have an injured Rochester player in amongst this as well.
That's the big man, Dante Welding, 6'5", 335 pounds. It's a big boy laying on the ground there. So fortunate for Rochester, unfortunately you have the injury, but fortunate the clock will stop. And instead of a 40-second play clock, and now you have a 25-second play clock.
Yeah, if it was under 2 minutes, I think they have to either take a timeout or at least they keep the play clock where it was when the injury happened. Yeah, it ends up being a difference of 8 seconds in the end, which could be big, though.
Yeah, this is going to bring on Buchter now to put them up by 9.
This will be a 28-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, I like the call here. It would have been it would have been interesting to see what they would choose to do if it was closer. If it was 4th and 1, 4th and 2, but now it's 4th and 7. You have a very, very good field goal kicker, yeah.
By Buchter, Buchter.
The Buchter kicker, yeah. Zane Buchter, the senior, very good kicker in Zane. So, I mean, this can put you up by 9, and Rochester, they don't normally score quickly, let's put it that way.
A 2-possession game would be huge.
Yes, it would be absolutely huge. So we'll see.
Buchter does have a field goal to his credit already this season. How about this number for you, though, Lee? Laurel converted on their first 3rd down on the first drive of the game. Since then, they're 0 for 5 on 3rd down attempts.
Try to see if we can come up with some other scores for you.
The Shannock was up big at last count. Maybe we'll put Tweety Bird on that one.
Yeah, my score I was interested in, some Butler alum. They were losing to Seneca Valley 28-7 at the half. So.
Well, your Raider student to your right is certainly happy about that one.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Dante Welling.
Good to see Dante Welling getting to his feet and getting off the field here as well, Lee.
Yeah, limping again.
He's not putting any weight on that left foot at all.
Ooh.
That's a huge, huge loss for the Rams.
That's a huge, huge man, too. Now they're going to get about 3 people to help him off the field.
6'5", 335-pound senior lineman.
Basketball player.
Yeah. So they're going to mark it. Looks like they're going to mark the ball down at the 17-yard line. So it'll be a 27-yard attempt coming up for Zane Buchter.
Yeah, the old days of Nick Marmo from Newcastle.
Bartley to snap, Tinsman to hold, Buchter on to attempt the field goal. It goes down, the snap is good, the kick is up, and it splits the uprights. Just inside the right upright. Rochester's there saying, are you kidding me? There's no way that stayed good. But the officials say it was just inside the right upright to give Laurel the 9-point advantage, 30-21.
And Laurie's down on the field hurt.
That one looks like it's just a cramp the way he's acting. Good news for Rochester, They will make their way off the field. 30-21. Laurel leads. Back in a moment here at lcsportsnet.com. Just 4:12 remaining. Spartans on top.
At our Cunningham Funeral Home and Crematory, we are a proud 6th-generation, family-owned and operated funeral home located centrally in the Newcastle and Neshannock communities. Our large facility and experienced staff allows us to accommodate any family with personalized services. To learn more about our services and pre-planning, visit our website at www.cunninghamfh.com or follow us on Facebook. Allow our family to help your family.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for homeowners and businesses in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting and related projects for the winter season. Call Joe today, 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project. After the 27-yard field goal, Zane Buchter now to kick it off. He'll go with a low line drive squib kick taken at the 15-yard line. A lot of room up in front for the return man. That's Desmond Ledford, who's going to get out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Rochester trails by 2 possessions lead with 4:06 and 2 timeouts remaining.
So let's see if
6 seconds remain in the
Rochester
that ball is going to be placed on about the 20.
Can come up with a first down and get a couple first downs rolling. So you think they're going to have to put this ball in the air here with 4:06 left.
9 plays, 62 62 yards, on the drive, taking up 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Follow them on Facebook and see what's cooking today. They'll be out at Spadurity Farms again this weekend. Lots of great stuff from our friends at Joseph's Marketplace.
Look for Mullins here.
So now we're going to have to go to the air with the new quarterback, Jaden Norman. He's going to loft one down the far sideline, jump ball, and a huge collision. And I think Laurie came down with it.
It was in Cooper's hands.
Antonio Laurie fighting for it and gets the catch at midfield between two defenders.
Cooper had it in his hands. Laurie, I think, just ripped it away from him. What a great catch.
Simultaneous possession, maybe it plays in there as well, but it goes down as an incredible catch. How about Antonio Laurie, the running back, coming back?
Yeah, from that cramp, recovered quickly, just in time.
Throw to the far sideline, going to be caught there by the big Duke Mullins. Gets close to the first down, but a flag thrown right at the line of scrimmage here on the near side.
That's definitely going to be up Rochester for something here.
The fact it was thrown so quickly tells me, illegal formation, or maybe the lineman never got set.
Yeah, something in that line.
Tell you what, both these teams got to be knocking on the door of the top teams in Class 1A. I can't imagine there are many that are going to be better. Right now, according to the Trib Live High School Sports Network, Bishop Canevin, a rightful number 1, Olsh undefeated, rightfully at number 2, Clareton at 3, Southside at 4, Leechburg, who just lost to Clareton, currently at number 5.
Well, those are 5 pretty good teams.
Well, then you got to have Laurel at 6, Rochester at 7, or vice versa, the way it's been going so far. Impressive from these teams here tonight. A 30-21 lead. Laurel 18 unanswered points here in the second half, and it was an illegal procedure penalty to push Rochester back 5 yards.
Yeah, they're going to have to get up to the line quickly because the clock's going to start.
3:50 and counting in the fourth quarter. Rochester down 2 scores. Laurie was the receiver to the top of the formation. He comes in motion, and his pass is intended for him, and is going to be broken up. Looked like everybody on the right side of the line moved early. No flag thrown, but a good deflection at the line by the Laurel defense.
Ryan DiMuccio was the one with that deflection.
Clock stops with 3:35 remaining. And again, you got a new quarterback. His first start.
He's played well.
Yeah, he has. Jaden Norman Jr. has played very, very well. 11 passes attempted. 1 interception. He does have a 2-point conversion completion. 5 for 11 right now in the night for 85 yards.
And an interception from the defensive side.
That's very true. 2 receivers each way on 2nd and 15. Norman gets the snap, drops back, looking left, fires, finds Laurie, caught across midfield and stays in bounds because he slipped right near the sideline. Gets it out to the 46-yard line. They're going to have to hurry up to the line of scrimmage after that gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, bad break for the Rams. They're going to lose about 15, 20 seconds on this. Laurie tried to get out of bounds. You said slipped somewhere over there and stayed in bounds.
That's the 11th catch of the year for Laurie, 3rd tonight. He and Mullins each with 3 catches. Spartans bring on a late substitution as Rochester had to huddle up. We're under 3 minutes to go. Laurie coming in motion again. Rolling out to his right. Fires over the middle, broken up, almost intercepted. Carter Haney read the route perfectly, knocked it away from Dom Guido, and nearly had it stolen away.
Broken up by Carter Haney, number 3. That's incomplete. It's 4th down 9. The clock stops. 2 minutes.
Clock stops with 2:49 remaining.
Yeah, looking on the field right now, I've not seen Mullins at all on the field, which is interesting. Must be faced. It's a big loss for the Rochester Rams. Mullins a big part of this offense.
Are they stretching him out here back at the 40-yard line?
Yeah, he sure is.
And
that's him.
And this is a tough timeout for Rochester to have to take, but maybe a chance to get your playmaker back on the field on this big 4th down.
Yeah,
you almost have to.
They're holding hammy right now. That's not stretching. They're holding that hamstring. That's a huge loss for the Rochester Rams. Mullins been such a great playmaker tonight.
No. Duke Mullins, 14 carries, 55 yards, a pair of touchdowns. He's also got 3 receptions for 47 yards. Did we just lose lights out there?
Something's blue. Don't know what it was, but I saw the lights go a little dimmer.
Oh. I got people looking around above us. Maybe it was just a light turned off in the press box above us.
Possibly.
Well, play will continue. It'll be 1 timeout remaining. It'll be 1 play really remaining for Rochester. 2:49 remaining. It's 4th down, 9 to go. Rochester trailing Laurel by 9. Final score from Bob Legge Stadium. Neshannock all over New Brighton, 55-6. Union with a huge win in their game. Laurel trying to remain undefeated and on top of the Big 7 Conference. Do they have another defensive stand in them? Norman gets the snap. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to fire on the wheel route, looking for Laurie, and the ball is going to be intercepted, but this is going to come back because the defender had a huge hand on the jersey of the running back, Laurie, out of the backfield. It's going to negate the Brady Lewis interception.
Yeah, bad break. Sure looked like that Rochester Ram was playing Canadian Football League there, too.
No, they've done that 2 or 3 times out of that formation on this drive.
Yeah, they look like Canadian Football League coming up the line early, or turning up the field early. But nonetheless, they're going to call pass interference, not a holding call.
Pass interference against the
Now 15 instead of 10.
To move the sticks, that'll be 1st and 10 for Rochester.
But on the penalty,
Placed on the 32-yard line.
a 1st down for the Rams down to the 30-yard line. So, if my math's right, that's a 17-yard penalty that is marked off. Quick throw to the far sideline. Mullins back in there, lowers the shoulder after the catch and goes out of bounds. Just shy of the yard to gain. Give him a gain of 8 on his 4th catch of the night.
Yeah, good to see Mullins back in there if you're a Rochester Ram fan.
Brady Cooper there.
Don't know how deep he can go, though.
Yeah. 7 of 14 for 99 yards throwing the football is Jaden Norman.
2nd down.
Yeah, Mullins favoring that leg.
Just willing himself to continue is the 6'2", 180-pound senior.
You need him in there.
He's got the speed, second in the 400-meter dash last year at the district championships. He's going to go on the double move, trying to go over the top, looking for him in double coverage, and it's going to be out of bounds. Unable to track that one down. I thought the quarterback bit on the out and up there, but he still had two guys basically blanketing him in Bartley and Smith.
Yeah, Mullins also 7th in the high jump, which we saw a few times tonight also.
There are just some athletes all over the field for both these teams.
Yeah.
The multi-sport athlete in Class 1A football is so much fun to talk about.
Yeah, you start doing the research in these teams, and you sort of have to in 1A in some of these schools.
Kudos to all the coaches that, share the athletes throughout the course of the year, too. I mean, getting still to like a baseball practice on a Sunday during football season, those kind of things, so impressive. 3rd down and 2. In the gun is Norman. Dropping back. Looking, steps up, and he's going to not be able to step up because DiMuccio's not going to let go. Ryan DiMuccio, a big sack back to the 30-yard line, a loss of 6, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, DiMuccio got him in the backfield. Also, Colton Hill, also Brady Cooper, also in that backfield.
Ball's on the Spartan 24-yard line.
This is it right here. This is the game.
The Rams started 4 for 6 on 3rd downs. They're now just 6 of 14. Big one there. Clock running under 2 minutes. Trips to the left on 4th down and 7. Norman fires down the middle of the field. It's going to be overthrown and intercepted by Braden Lewis at the 7-yard line. A little bit overthrown. The junior, the only junior starting on defense, makes the pick. That's basically going to seal the victory away for Laurel here tonight.
Yeah, that should do it for sure. Great defensive performance here in the second half. They gave up 21 points in the first half. James, nothing here in the second half. Defense came out right from the start. A couple 3-and-outs. Set the tone. Did not give up anything here in the second half. Now all they have to do now is hang on to the ball, which we saw last week. They had problems towards the end of the game.
They're not even going to hand it off. They're just going to keep it with a quarterback and not take a knee, but kind of fight forward and keep the clock running a little bit longer. They'll have to call one more timeout, and the idea of that is if you can race just 5 extra seconds now with no timeouts left, you won't have to run a 4th down snap.
Yeah, last Ponce Insurance timeout here taken by the Rochester Rams. You can visit PonceInsurance.com and request a quote for auto, home, business, or life insurance. Love the life you live, worry-free. I want to thank Penn, Ohio, too. You can stay refreshed by enjoying hot or cold water at the click of a button, or enjoy a cup of coffee with our bottom-loading water cooler option. Get 3 free bottles and first month cooler rental free when you sign up today. That's the Penn, Ohio Bottled Water Company. I want to thank this Crane Room Grill also, right down the road. Get some Q-Sauce wings.
Yeah, go call right now and place your order to go for a to-go curbside pickup. Trying to get you some numbers here because it's been a very entertaining game. 199 yards on the ground for Landon Smith and a trio of touchdowns leading the way. How about Colin Bartley, though, over 100 yards on just a pair of receptions?
Been a lot of studs here tonight for the Laurel Spartans. Looks like they're going to take control.
Again, if you can waste if you can take 5 extra seconds here. Well, they marked it back up to 1:31 on the clock, so forget what I just said.
Okay, well.
Bartley will go in motion. They won't even fake it to him, just a handoff, or not a handoff, a keeper up the middle for Tinsman, and he's close to the first down. One more of those, and Tinsman will be able to put this game to rest.
They might get the measurement. Yep. Henry's pointing first down.
Yeah, they are moving the chains.
The head referee's going to make the choice now. Now he agrees with him.
And that is going to do it. A couple kneel downs, that's all it's going to take, and Laurel will move to 2-0 here in the Big 7 Conference with a 30-21 victory here tonight.
Everybody in tight now.
And now it's victory formation. It'll take just a couple of kneel downs, and this one will be over.
And Laurel moved. Or they snapped.
Yeah, well, they snapped.
Okay. All I saw was the center, George Michaels, move. I didn't see the ball snapped. He was the only one that moved. Clock below under 40. Snap real quick. Don't have to wait for the play clock. You can snap now, which they will.
There's the final kneel down. And the Spartans make it 3-0 at home, make it 2-0 in conference play, a 30-21 victory over the Rochester Rams. We need to step aside, pay a couple bills. We'll come back with our Tri-County Principals post-game show when we return here at lcsportsnet.com.
In need of a lawyer? Contact Medore Bonner Law, a boutique firm offering tailored legal services and over 120 years legal experience. County residents with strong family ties to the community, Jason Medore and Michael Bonner, established Medore Bonner Law to provide clients with legal expertise and personal attention. Guided by their professional staff, you can feel confident your rights will be protected. Call attorneys Jason Medore or Michael Bonner, or visit MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
Wherever you're going.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's high school football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Don Rebel. Join me in a cast of thousands for all the scores with recaps from the top games, plus we highlight the night on the Trib Live Roundtable. That's the WPIAL Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and at tribhssn.triblive.com.
Back here at Spartan Stadium, 30-21, Laurel victorious here tonight over Rochester to go to 2-0 in conference play. Limon, just a quick thought before we wrap this up. We're going to have to take one more time out here in our post-game show, but just talk real quick about this comeback, 18 unanswered in the second half for the Spartans.
Yeah, the defense was just amazing in the second half. I mentioned a few minutes before, James, I mean, they were down 21-12 at the half, and then they come out and get 2 straight 3-and-outs. You get a block punt, and you're able to score, and this defense just played outstanding in the second half, and with the backup quarterback that played very well for the Rochester Rams and Jaden Norman, but just not good enough here tonight for the Rochester Rams. But they gave a great effort. Did the Rams with the Laurel Spartans? I said defensively, they just shut the door down. I mean, they whatever was working in the first half for Rochester was not in the second half. Great adjustments by the Laurel Spartans to come out here with a victory.
All right, we got to take one more time out. Back with our post-game show in a moment here at lcsportsnet.com. Laurel victorious 30-21.
Hey. Come on in, let's go. Yeah.
Laurel teachers support all of our athletes on and off the field.
All right, okay.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity, it's really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Maley Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between, let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Let's jump right into it, Limo, with our Maley Chiropractic play of the game. First off, a nomination for Zane Buchter's field goal to put it out of reach, but we got to give it, in the end, to the play that really sparked this entire comeback, where Laurel ended up scoring the final 24 points of the game, and it all really big time in the second half, especially started with Laban Barker's blocked punt in that second, early in the third quarter, to be able to get a short field and get the early score in the second half.
Yeah, he came out. It came in untouched. No one even not one Rochester Ram around at all. He came in, blocked the punt, was able to corral it, catch it, fall on the ball, and then just seconds later, Landon Smith scores, and that was a great job by Landon Smith. He's our Melee Chiropractic Play of the Game. Melee Chiropractic and the Lawrence County SportsNet are proud to honor Laban for tonight's Play of the Game. He will receive a customized t-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's Play of the Game. Video of tonight's Play of the Game may also be featured on the Trib Live High School Sports Network standout platform on Twitter and Instagram. To view tonight's Melee Chiropractic Play of the Game and the full list of this season's top players, go online at lcsportsnet.com and click on Play of the Game. Congratulations to Laban Parker for tonight's Melee Chiropractic Play of the Game. And let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
And real quick for our LCAP Player of the Game, as the alma mater gets played down there on the field, our LCAP Player of the Game, he only had 4 touches on offense, but he made them explosive ones. A 64-yard touchdown for Colin Bartley, again, helped spark the comeback for the Spartans. Over 110 yards receiving and a bunch of great plays on defense and special teams. Colin Bartley is our LCAP Player of the Game. Congratulations. He will receive a customized t-shirt, will Colin Bartley, in honor of being named tonight's Player of the Game. View the full list by going to lcsportsnet.com. LCAP, changing lives. Spartans now at 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the Big 7 Conference. Rams, their first Big 7 loss, they're now at 2-1. Rochester will host Union next week. That'll be a big showdown down in Rochester against the Scotties. Laurel will travel to Northgate, and then we'll probably be right back here 2 weeks from now in their game against Southside. Thanks again to everybody here, the entire Laurel student section, helping us out with the stream tonight. Zanon and company, cannot thank them enough. Coach Locke and everybody here at Laurel, always fantastic. Miss Lori Heights, such great stuff. We appreciate all that they've done for us time and time again here at Laurel. Your final score, one last time. I got to give one last stat, too. Landon Smith, 199 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Can't go without mentioning what that senior running back has done. Laurel 30, Rochester 21, your final score. For everyone here at Laurel, I'm James Dotson saying so long. Thanks for tuning in on the Laurel YouTube page, Trib Live High School Sports Network, WKST Radio, and at lcsportsnet.com, Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.